Sure, if not, we gon' make more. Clips say it hold 20, but I think it could take more. Grab a stick, fire on your camp, we gon' make s'mores. I ain't satisfied with my spot, then I'ma take yours. No matter how many roadblocks in my way, I'ma break forward. This path I'm on is so damn narrow, I just stay forward. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, I just ate more. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, give me 8 more. Nigga, I don't sugarcoat shit, bitch, I'm straightforward. Don't give a fuck if they don't let me in, I just break doors. Ballin' so hard, they asking what team that I play for. Scammer who? They ain't stopped making guns when they made yours. Sick with it. Feeling like I woke up with stage 4. They ain't want the piece loose, but they opened up the cage for. Endure the pain, been through hard times is what I'm made for. Paid my dues, never left a wage, I just rage war. So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world. Got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Still against all enemies. In high school, you was the man that's lost memory shit. Lost energy, never lost my energy. Never lose control, never losing. Dog, I plan to keep. You lose your mind where I'm from. I ain't talking from what you see. I never lost soul. Losing time, wasting steady pacing. You off track, I'm on that. You pray to God, hoping he can save you. But the power about war, and that's a different angle. This another lost cause, and I'm just adding to the list. They not seeing me for that reason. Got a flash on the grip. Nigga, big priest. They gon' judge me by my increase. And I'ma keep stepping in these joys to the increase. Just got off the phone with Jacob, and he said it's time to shine. Certified, blue dot, put it on you, now you verified. One West world, bigger than World War III. Do not sleep, it's not cheap, and it's still top 3.
So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world. Got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Came on boats and then chains. So when I get rich, I'ma grab a boat and 10 chains with 12 ribs from each tribe. And each rib gonna have at least 3 kids. Yeah, I'ma have the deep squad. Been rapping since knee high. Now a nigga shack size. Spit that holy fire. When you hear it, you get baptized. One West world, yeah, you niggas know the logo. And I'ma bust it down so the haters see the globe glow. Let's have a feast, let's shine on our enemies. Right in they face, let's blind all our enemies. Cause now we have, but we come from half not. Throw that cash on the ground, my nigga, let's cast lots. I started from the bottom, birthed out of mud, raised by gangsters, turned out a thug. I ain't give a fuck, burnt out I was from hitting licks in and out and selling nicks in the drought.
So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world. Got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
All right, this is Rude Speech, man. We got Captain Taiwan in the building. Yeah. So, Cap, man, let us know where you from.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me, man, on Rude Speech, man. I'll break it down right quick, though.
Don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart, one West when I finish, one West when I start. Big shine. Big glow, I be gone till November, let my bitch know. I'm back by the winter, bubbling like Crisco. I need my pockets all swollen like a lymph node. Talking out the side of your neck, get you a slip throat. I stay broke, don't care if I got $1 million. Looking down on me, I put your brains on the ceiling. Fuck kicking down the door, we bout to demo the building. Fake cats all in these groups, I wonder who ya. Shoot ya, off your pulpit, hallelujah. 4-pound gun youngin' down like it's a cougar. On my feet, combat boots, or is it Puma? Words spreading around about me, none of it rumor. All truth, very big facts. Very large caliber on very small gaps. Compact pistols, ladders, and all that. About to throw the switch in the Nina for rapid fire. Got the 5.7 equipped with the magnifier. Boom shakalaka equipped with the rim rocker. We ain't really got beef, yeah, Ramak would have been shot you. The best rhymer, since Pac and Big Papa. Big llama, big juice, I'm Big Jamba. Quarter tank of gas, I ride like a big timer. No informer, no sweat, not in sign of my conglomerate. Wreck like King Kong. No Asian pun me, no chink in armor. Remain calm through our pain that bring drama. Stay focused on things that bring karma. Took all pressure, applied and made diamonds. Stayed true, kept shit pure, my name honored. Paid all dues and debts and kept promise. Make sure you show respect. Pay homage that I'm one West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood. Don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West when I start. I said I've been one West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood. Don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West when I start. I'm the hottest on the market. Don't make me start it. I'ma pull up in a Spider-Man and Peter Parker. I remember days was trapping out the apartment. Now one West ball put me up in a starship. About to fly the friendly skies in this bitch. Spit the truth on the corners. I lie a little bit. I'm a stand-up nigga. I die before I switch. Down, no we up. I'm cool with who I with. I'ma be war the king and stay dangerous. Hold down the biz and fam remain blameless. Now rappers drippy with styles we made famous. First with studs and spikes in any city. Designing charge a stack for shit that can't fit me. Had fringes on my coattail way before Jimmy. Funny how the general ain't even see a penny. Better show respect, get smoked like a chimney. Keep my name out your mouth, don't even think it. Send a real Smith at y'all, no Jada Pinkett. Both ball heads, my grain of $150. Lost my man to the game, that pain that stuck with me. Had to find a cheat code to the street though, cause them niggas getting fouled, shoot you like a free throw. Keep spitting acid like a Mino, and the nigga be the nicest with a mean flow. Try to ride my wave, you gon' need a speedboat. I'm hot like 100 degrees in a peacoat. Scarf in the sweater, I embark every letter. It's UPK, not a part, but together. Homie, I've been one West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood. Don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West when I start. One West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood. Don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So that you said that they put millions of my houses. Yes, you said, sir.
Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every crack and surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cages, safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom be busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cocktail. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. That was designed fire for our babies to pass through in the day of our king's reign. I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Bullies, bust their head.
ODing on a beat, Narcan flow. We outside. We outside with it. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mess and we was outside. The Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. There's one west for that bag and we outside. We outside. I got the world in the palm of my hand. One west sleeve stretched, do it live on the gram. Had a whole world viewing. Click and subscribe. Had them niggas off the block, tell them shooters they want a job. I just put them on the payroll. When I get control them, I just mold them like they Play-Doh. Soldiers giving halos, trying to get up at them pesos. 40 cows send you out of space, Jeff Bezos. And Jeff Bezos, leave you all boxed up. All cause my delivery. I be on that prime shit. Take you time to get with me. Got me like Vladimir. Treat you like the Ukraine. Raid your little city, now you boating like Usain. Scope costs more than the rifle. I got new aim, fresh kick, spit with the blick. Not my shoe game. Used to have a dirty 30 tied to a shoestring. Now I got that Ruger 5 and 7. That's my boot thing. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mess and we was outside. The Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. There's one west for that bag and we outside. We outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mess and we was outside. The Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. There's one west for that bag and we outside. We outside. I don't talk hardly. Be there when you call me. Send them Philly clippers at your head like a baldy. Chopper get to run down your block like a Harley. No, this ain't a big hog. This the big dog.
In your city, swinging through the jungle like it's pitfall. In the water wading, marching to my cadence. Big burst of thunder in my hands like I'm reading. Shitty Mortal Kombat sounds, but I ain't playing.
Look 'em in the eye before the war like a weigh-in. I'm up in the AM, politicking movements with that Draco from the vid because it's proven. Waiting on my brother out of bed, he ain't do shit. That's how life go. Win some, you lose. Seen a little nigga beat a big nigga out his shoes. Seen that nigga come back, pull up with a gun strap, rob everybody outside, told him run that. We outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, yeah, we outside. Before the COVID had the mess and we was outside. My Glock loaded extra mag and it's outside. It's one west for that bag and we outside. Outside, yeah, we outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. We outside, and we outside. Outside, outside, yeah, we outside. We outside, outside, yeah, we outside. There's one west on them corners, and we outside. We outside, outside with it.
Two homosexuals cannot produce kids. How's that? After the kids will get older. Okay, what about the Irish? I want to hear this.
I get nothing from nobody. Hey, blood, sweat, and beers ran these streets.
Y'all weren't slaves, though.
We're working to England.
You were not slaves.
The British
in any way, shape, or form.
The British enslaved Ireland for thousands of years, Frank.
Were you a slave in America?
Pretty much, right now.
No, at all. Let me. I know you don't know this. You know what I'm saying? But let me help you out. What you don't know is the Irish had a hand in our oppression. Because when y'all came over here as quote unquote indentured servants, like y'all were not oppressed like us. Like where was the KKK that was created to hunt the Irish? Where was the affirmative action for the Irish? Y'all became overseers, and those overseers turned into officers, and the police oppress us. Matter of fact, let's take it a step further. How about what happened during the war, during the Revolutionary War? What did the Irish do? Do you know?
Don't know.
Oh, you don't know? Okay, you ever see the movie, what's the name of that movie, House? Gangs in New York? You ever see Gangs in New York? You ever see the protests they had at the end of that movie? That was a real protest where the Irish did not want to fight in the war. So as a result, they rioted, your people rioted in the North. And you know what y'all did to say we're not going to fight? You started hanging black people from the telephone poles to protest the war.
Not me, though.
You understand? Oh, not you though. Not you though.
Hey, just because I'm red hair,
I got you.
sweet skin, and blue eyes, doesn't mean that
I got a red beard. I don't care about your beard.
I hang out.
I don't care. I don't care about all that. But you said not you though, right? But your forefathers though. You want to know what the Bible has to say about that? Because listen. You do have something to do with it. I'll show it to you right now. I'm a descendant of a slave. You understand? So let me help you out with this. Where's the Bible? Give me Isaiah 14 and 21. And now let me show you something else, right? Do you remember? I don't know if any of y'all. I forgot their damn name. But do you remember that white girl in Ohio that was taken captive inside the basement? I'm asking you, do you remember? She was kidnapped. Do you remember? Well, you remember? So she ran to a brother for help, right? So now, it was two white women inside there, and one of them got pregnant and had a baby. Yo, let me ask you, bro, how many counts of kidnapping did they charge him with? None. 3. But he only kidnapped 2 people. Why did they charge him with 3 counts of kidnapping? To the baby. Because the baby was born in captivity. Well, every black and Hispanic was born in captivity. Now, let me tell you what the word of God has to say about you and your forefathers and how you're culpable. Because the Bible says that we can free when no man pursue it.
Once again from ISUPK headquarters in Harlem, New York. This is Let It Be Known, episode 60. Give us a hand. That's right. We in the building once again. Right. We got your host here, of course, the man of the hour, the prince of the power, priest and officer Shalaga Allah in the building. Give him a hand. Give him the man of the hour right there. The man of the hour, no doubt. All the way from Long Island, New York, we got priest and officer Yashawamya Allah in the building. Give him a hand. Shalom, that's what's going on. What's going on? All right. And of course, I am the mountain of the Most High, priest and officer Harya Allah out the Bronx, New York, and you can give me a hand. That's right. And we setting this thing off. That's right. It's going down. You already know, son. You already know. It was looking strong up there. Yo, strong Cuba out there in Boston, man. Big shout out to Captain Cottazine. Give him a hand. That's right. Listen, man, I remember that day specifically. We was out in Boston, and some Irish thug some Irish devil comes up there, tries to come against the priest and prophets. I remember that day specifically because the Irish dude came up, he put a few dollars in the bucket, right? And then he said, yeah, because the Irish was enslaved too. And Captain Cottazai said, what? Captain Cottazai went up there and cut him with the sharpness of a katana. And then the dude flee. But the part you don't see in the video is that this clown comes back wearing a Celtics jersey, and then kick the money bucket. Yo, he tried to soccer style kick the money bucket, but the money bucket ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Because our protocols won't allow that. And he's lucky we didn't get the word because we would have fell on him. So we had mercy that day, huh? You know, we had mercy on him that day. Yeah.
What you got? You know what I'm saying? It is crazy because that's the thing about these devils. They want to compare whatever plight they had to ours, knowing they put us through the transatlantic slavery. You understand?
Right.
There's nothing they went through compared to what they've done to God's chosen people. Because you understand, these people, the so-called white man, the oppressor, Esau's the devil the Bible speaks of. You understand? And the word devil means adversary and deceiver. And he's deceived everybody on the planet. And he's your adversary, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native American man. And don't you forget that.
Damn right. Give that a hand. Listen, man, we once again live back in ISUPK headquarters. You know, let's let it be known. Hey, yo, big shout out to Officer Karab, who's going to be joining us shortly. You give him a hand. Officer Yawala, give him a hand as well.
That's right.
He might be joining us shortly as well. Big shout out to Officer Shaka Khan.
That's right. Who's this?
Hey, yo, man, just walking in the building.
That's right.
Of course, we got the roughest, toughest gun dot out of Yonkers, New York.
That's right.
Precinct Officer Design.
That's right.
Give him a hand. My man goes over that's right. All the time. Of course, we got Chuba Panyanyala in the building.
What's going on? All right, I see you.
Young man Jay in the building. Give him a hand.
What's going on, young man? All right.
Listen, man, it's going down here at ISUPK headquarters. Let it be known. Every Sunday from 4 to 6, we bringing it out. The priest and prophets of the Most High, bringing it out heavy, man. Now, as you already know, that disgusting Catholic holiday, St. Patrick's Day, was just 2 days ago.
What?
Just 2 days ago. And every single year, the priests and prophets have to get on these streets and remind our people not to celebrate that garbage.
Right.
You know? Like if you work in offices and stuff, you'll see that during St. Patrick's Day. Preaching over some
Locked in one time. I'm preaching over some Yonkers, New York.
What up, nigga?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Word up. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. You got some more.
Can I turn on this light? You know.
No. Keep that on.
I know.
Because Har requested it off. And I requested it off too.
You need to put some 35% on those glasses that you
Listen, we out here, y'all.
Listen, man, we outside.
No, I was gonna say, fuck it.
I just want to say we love each other out here. You know what I'm saying? These are my brothers. You know what I'm saying? We love each other. We go to war together.
Right. See that?
You know what I'm saying? Indoors, outdoors, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We love each other here. Har, go ahead, brother. I'm so sorry.
No, Most High Christ. We damn sure do love each other, man. That's right. And we love our people. Believe that.
Right.
Here in the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana, we are dedicated to the love of our people. And that's exactly why we can't stand to see our people celebrate this disgusting Catholic holiday, this St. Patrick's Day, which is a horrible holiday. And so if you are in the chat, big shout out to our family in the chat, our viewers who support us. You'll see that we currently have a poll in the chat, and that poll is: should black people celebrate St. Patrick's Day? Now, I see we got one person already in the chat who just said, what's this dude's name? Just came in the chat, Table of Kings. He said, y'all got the survey, laughing my ass off. Ain't nobody celebrating Patrick. I'm not necessarily sure what that means, man, but year after year, our people go out and celebrate care. You'll find them in the parade. You'll find them wearing the most elaborate green outfits that they can possibly find. Man.
Right.
Like I remember I used to work in an office downtown. And on St. Patrick's Day, the Judites, the blacks in the office came more dressed in green than the actual Irish. Like you see the Irish girls come, they'll have like the little shamrock on them or whatever. And you see the sister come, she is just completely draped in green. You know, so you know.
Now explain that. What do you think that means?
Well, I mean, the first and foremost thing that stands out is that we are just the salt of the earth, and we just simply dress better than them. Right. So give them sisters a hand. Right. But at the same time, man, it's just that because we don't have our identity, and because we're always willing to go above and beyond in anything that we do, when we take on the customs of our oppressor, we find that our people are able to take it to a level that not even the oppressors willing to take it.
Right. If I may, you know what I'm saying?
Is that mic on?
What you want to? Yeah, I can hear the mic. And our families, and I guess you know what I'm saying. I don't know if you brought it up. The half-breeds and the food that they cook, it's the half-breeds and the cabbage. Right. I remember that on St. Patrick's Day. You know what I'm saying? In our families, and when I talk about our family, I'm talking about our mother and father will celebrate this holiday. You know what I'm saying? Celebrate the oppressor's holiday will bring up their sayings and their food. Right. Slockies.
But if I may, I have a scripture. Can I have it pulled? If I could, Bubba Sean? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? We observe everything what these heathens do, but we don't observe what the Most High God says to do. You understand? We don't do what He says. He says for us to hearken unto Him and follow His ways. You understand?
For what scripture?
No sweat. The scripture is Proverbs 3, verse 31. Because you want to understand what God says to do, and that's what we have to do for blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, so we don't be confused when these pagan holidays come around in the calendar year. But if I could, can you read the Bible, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31?
This is Proverbs 3 and 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
Envy what?
Envy thou not the oppressor.
The oppressor is someone who has their knee on your neck. You understand? The oppressor is the one that a few months ago, he was the one kicking down your door and shooting you, ridding you up with bullets. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my mistake. The oppressor is the one who's a descendant of the people who put you in transatlantic slavery. You understand? The oppressor is the one who you're working for. You understand? But keep reading.
And choose none of his ways.
And choose none of his ways. You understand? So for that brother who says something about we have to poll, the Most High God is telling us not to do what the oppressor does. You know what I'm saying? And our oppressor is a so-called white man. The Bible speaks of, who is the devil. The Bible speaks of. That's all.
Damn right. Give that a hand.
Salaki, if I may. You can use snow roach or shaved monkeys. Just use snow roach or shaved monkeys. They are the snow roaches of the devil with the Bible speaks of.
Most High Christ. Damn right.
And perverted bullies.
There you go. That's what the Barak is up for.
Damn right. Give that a hand. Listen, man, before we move forward with these stories, straight out of Long Island, New York. Yeah. We got Precinct Officer Karab in the building. That's right. It's going down. Our Precinct Officers in the building today. Let us not forget money and muscles. What's going down?
Let's give him a share. Please, props up, please.
Hey, we got Precinct Officer Yawahal in the building, straight out of Long Island, New York. Addictive chaos, the war. I already know, man. It's going down.
get everybody up here.
And he was about a year ahead of what this kingdom was talking about the war report. He was ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the so-called balloon. You know what I'm saying? The so-called. You know what I'm saying? Why the prices of eggs is spiking up. You know what I'm saying? Why blacks, Hispanics, and American Indians is you know what I'm saying? It's working for goddamn pennies.
Right.
That's the war report. That is the war report. And he was about a year ahead of time. He was a year ahead of time, and they mad at that.
Right.
They are mad at that.
Want something crazy? That ain't happened yet, but I'm still a year ahead.
A little more. You good?
Listen, the War Report podcast has an episode called Digital IDs.
That's right.
And that's what's coming next.
That's right. If I may, where can we listen to your podcast, sir?
Listen, you got to search the War Report podcast. All those words.
There you go. There you have THE. Yeah, you got to
War Report podcast. It's on Apple, it's on Spotify, everywhere you listen to podcasts.
You can find it on multiple platforms.
Yeah.
Damn right. Get that in here.
If you want to get ahead on something, check out the episode about digital IDs.
Most High in Christ, digital IDs. So really quickly, if you tuning in, you online, big shout out to the chat. We do have a poll in the chat today. And the question in the poll is, should black people celebrate St. Patrick's Day? There is no right or wrong answers, but we clearly see that our audience, 100% of our audience today says no. So Most High in Christ for that. Damn right. We'll go throughout the entire show. Should we celebrate St. Patrick's Day? Should we not celebrate St. Patrick's Day? We got the poll in the chat. Now, we just played the video of Captain Katazai out in Boston, completely annihilated some Irish thug. Right. And it's important that we understand. It's important that we understand that, right, you know, Boston is has one of the highest Irish populations than any city in the country. Right. And in Boston is one of the most racist cities in the country. Right. You know? And so we're just going to set it off with this first story here. This is an NBA player, Jaylen Brown. Okay? And this caption of this story is, Celtics Jaylen Brown speaks out against toxic fan culture and systematic racism in Boston. All right? And we just going to jump into this real quick.
Sign Christ. Okay, let's get you off. I'm sorry. Stop.
All right, let's set it off. Jaylen Brown, one of the most consistent players of the Boston Celtics, recently opened up about his experience as a black athlete in the team. In an interview with Sopan Dead of the New York Times, Brown addressed the negative treatment that some Boston fans have towards black athletes. I have, but I pretty much block it all out. You know, let me tell you something. That's a go-to move for a lot of blacks and Hispanics who experience this racism. Like a few weeks back, we brought out how racism is the sole cause of so many different mental illnesses in the black and Hispanic community. And this is one of the reasons why. Here we have a millionaire NBA player that says, yeah, they are racist in Boston. The fans do chant racist things at him and treat him horribly despite all the things he do for the team. But the only thing he can do is block it out. It's not the whole Celtic fan base, but it is a part of the fan base that exists within the Celtic nation that is problematic. If you have a bad game, they tie it to you on a personal character. You know, and so he's just bringing out the absolute racism that he experiences from these Irish people out in Boston, New York. In Boston, Massachusetts. And it's not an isolated incident. You know, all throughout history, blacks has experienced overwhelming racism, and not just racism, but violence from the Irish. Absolute violence from the Irish. If you've seen the film, the Leonardo DiCaprio film, Gangs of New York,
Gangs in New York is a film about an incident that happened right here in New York City. Right here in New York City, an incident in which they refer to as the draft riots, in which Irish gangs band together, and I believe within a 3 or 4 night period went throughout the entire city and killed every black person they could get their hands on, burnt down every black business they can find, and even burnt down a black orphanage. And we got a little of that for you right here as well. And this is coming straight from Wikipedia. You know, we're not digging in no unbiased thing. This is history. This is the history of how Irish have treated our people, throughout the years. And so, right here, they're simply discussing some of the things that happened. The military did not reach the city until the second day of the rioting, by which time the mob ransacked and destroyed numerous public buildings, 2 Protestant churches, the home of various abolitionists and sympathizers, many black homes, and a colored orphan asylum on 44th Street and 5th Avenue, which was burned to the ground. The area's demographics changed as a result of the riot. Many black residents left Manhattan permanently, with many moving to Brooklyn. In 1865, the population had fallen below 11,000 for the first time since 1820. A lot of black people don't know. When you walk downtown, you get the impression that downtown is a Caucasian area. People don't know that downtown Manhattan was a predominantly black area during this time. You know, all of the expensive real estate that is the highest real estate in the country right now was once all black owned.
In most cities, urban areas. That's why they call it urban. You know what I'm saying? Like the white people used to live in the suburban areas in most cities. So when you go to a city and you're looking at like New York, you're like, how is in the city area it's all white? That was gentrification before your time.
If I may, I'm going back to Detroit because I noticed that, you know what I'm saying, firsthand experience. I was in Detroit and I, you know what I'm saying, it was, oh man, I'm talking about, it's very rare that you see, you know what I'm saying, a person with a different ethnic group, you know what I'm saying, besides blacks and Hispanics. 2 years later, they, you know what I'm saying, they started building up the city. The city is where, you know what I'm saying, the city went down to like, you could pay like pennies, you know what I'm saying, on $1 for a house in the city. Once that happened, you start seeing people with the, you know what I'm saying, our oppressor, the snow roaches, coming down to the city and they push all the brothers and sisters to the suburbs.
I don't think people understand.
In Detroit, it was like a unique situation when I saw that.
That's true. I don't think people understand how it like works, right? So like, first you gotta make a city become like intimate demand, right? So like you have to basically make it a slum. So all you do is cut off municipalities, right? In your neighborhoods, do you see street sweepers every day? Why not? Right? The city pays for it. City pays for it in Manhattan. It also pays for it supposedly in your neighborhood. So they do things to lower the value of the housing to where they can kick you out. And then under the guise of urban development, you know, they get to raise the prices.
And if I may, I seen it happen in my neighborhood in Bellport. Where there was tons of abandoned houses. And then 3 years later, we have affordable housing.
And some people don't understand. You see all these abandoned houses. You may not understand, but it'd be like the same person that owns all of them.
Come on, sir.
It's not like, so if everyone's paying the mortgage, I mean, the banks own the house, right? When you see a bunch of abandoned houses, the banks own those houses. But there's no HOA to tell them, hey, you got to keep the lawn cut. You got to paint this gate. They can do whatever they want. They purposely let it go look crazy so that it decreased the value of all of the houses, and they can start buying them up, raising the prices, and kicking you out.
Damn right.
They did it in the city, New York. They did it for Seneca Village. They did it for what is it?
It's in New York.
Yeah. It's in the yards. What's it called again?
The what? The city in Harlem?
No. It's by Yonkers.
Oh, Bronxville? You talking about Bronxville?
They did it there too.
They did it. No. But I know they doing exactly what you're saying. Slock.
You know that big thing they built up
in Yonkers.
You know that big thing they built. That big thing they built up. It's like bronze. It's like a twirl.
It's in the city or it's in Yonkers, sir?
It's still considered New York. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, they do it all over the place. And they do things like, open up an art museum or something like that. They have to have something there.
Where's it at?
Right. It says in Yonkers.
Nah.
Close to Yonkers. Close to Yonkers. On the borderline. It's on the borderline.
Yeah, it's on the borderline.
It's on the borderline.
It's I think it's the 7th train. 7th train.
4.
I never seen it. I never seen it.
We all seen it.
I mean, we got phones, nigga.
Well, we can
Google
look.
it. That's your mind.
We'll check it out. We're gonna put out a video about it. Actually, we'll see.
That's how you know how old we are. Like, damn, we trying to figure it out. Like,
Hudson Yard.
Hudson Yard.
Hudson Yard. Okay, Hudson Yard.
That big thing they built. Remember, those are the houses was there first. So they bought everyone out, just bulldoze all the housing just to put an exhibit there. Seneca Village did the same thing to put a park, Central Park.
And if I may, I grew up on in YO, Yonkers, on Vavine. Vavine is like 3 steps away from the Hudson River.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? You got where I live, the train station, in the Hudson River. And it looked like a slum when I grew up. And I grew up in late 70s, 80s during that time. And it looked, you know what I'm saying? It looked crazy during then.
Right.
I went down there about 6 months, 6 months in the past, and they developing all of that.
Of course.
I mean, cause you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about prime real estate. I'm talking about millions and millions of dollars.
Right.
But when I grew up on the crack era.
The problem is, right, they put it, whenever you see a slum, they put it on the people. Like, why don't you take care of your neighborhood?
Right.
Well, no one takes care of neighborhoods.
Right.
Municipalities take care. Are you in charge of who takes the garbage? No.
Right.
Are you in charge of the street sweepers? No. Are you in charge of any?
Right.
No. You know what I mean? If Manhattan stopped all their municipalities, it would look like a slum too.
Yeah,
so
right.
on purpose. But here's the problem: everyone's paying taxes. So where's your taxes going?
Right.
Your taxes is going to clean up the good areas and not your area.
Right.
Damn right.
If you could, real quick, we got Officer 5,000 for y'all. What's going on?
What's going on?
Everything good, sir. How you doing out there?
Nah, chilling, man. I'm out and about, man. I got, running around trying to tighten up some loose ends for this Passover that's coming up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you got right. You got that Passover just a minute.
What you were saying is lock here, sir. If I may, when you talking about the cleanup duty, it was no cleanup duty where I grew up. No, I'm talking about we was on the bottom because Yonkers is like a mountain. Everybody making fun of that. It's a mountain. You know what I'm saying? I mean, literally, it's a mountain. We lived on the bottom of the mountain, and no snow plows, no anything. I remember we had this, you know what I'm saying, snow plow ourselves, and I'm talking about mountains of snow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You see snow in July and September. You see snow because nobody came down there to clean up. And up until right now, nobody came down there to clean up, to sweep the streets or whatever. I'm talking about Ravine, Woodworth, and Warburg. This is where the Locks is from. You know what I'm saying? If people don't know, this is where we from. I grew up with the brothers, and nothing was there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, nothing. I'm talking about if you want to slag, if you want to slag, we had mountains for that.
Right.
Because there was nobody coming down there.
Right.
There was nobody coming down. We never got picked up for school. You know what I mean? We never got picked up for school. We had to walk to school. And there was no sweep cleaners, no anything. You know what I'm saying? No anything. But if you go, you know what I'm saying? If you go two steps to the left, where you know what I'm saying, where the Passagians was living, it was all of that.
Yeah, it's one of those things people don't really talk about, how the rich areas steal all the funding from the poor areas.
Right.
They steal it. You know what I mean? So all the money goes into them. You know what I mean? And no one, politicians are poor.
Right.
You gotta understand. Right? You think of like property taxes pays for everything. Listen, in those buildings, tall buildings, projects, it's way more money is coming from those buildings than someone's house.
Right.
Guaranteed money, government money. So it's not like the money's not being paid to do it.
Right.
It's being allocated to nonsense.
Right.
To rich places. And that goes down to street sweepers, to garbage. It goes down to pipes, like renovating your pipes for your sewer lines, all of it.
Right.
The things that no person is doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like some personal thing. You think they don't litter in these other places? Of course they do. Right. They have people cleaning up all the time.
And what we're talking about right now for our viewers that's just tuning in, it's just different ways our oppressor manipulates neighborhoods and allocates resources and uses eminent domain in order to cut us out of having good utilities and good things in our neighborhoods, and then allocating it to them. But what we're reading about here on Wikipedia about these draft riots that occurred in the 1800s right here in New York City was the original eminent domain, which is to go into a black neighborhood, kill every person you can find, burn down all the businesses and the homes, run them out and move them out, and then reestablish your businesses and homes in that area, which is exactly what they did downtown Manhattan, which is now the most expensive real estate. They just said 44th and Broadway. That's Times Square, basically.
Right.
The most expensive real estate in the country was once owned and controlled by our people, but it wasn't eminent domain and it wasn't trickery of funds. It was murder and displacement that the Irish did down there during the draft riots, in which we're reading about right now, which took our people out of the area.
Right.
And just to get into this one last part, man, because it's important that we acknowledge our history and we acknowledge some of these brothers. It's showing here that, however, police were unable to secure the orphanage for enough time to allow orphans to escape before the building burned down. Throughout the areas of rioting, mobs attacked and killed numerous black civilians, destroyed their homes and businesses, such as James McCoon Smith's Pharmacy at 93 West Broadway. At 93 West Broadway. 93 West Broadway, that is right downtown, and it also says believed to be the first black-owned pharmacy in the United States of America. The first black-owned pharmacy in the United States of America was right downtown in New York City. And if we were to go right downtown right now, you will see that one of the most profitable businesses in New York City are pharmacies, are your Walgreens and your CVS's and your Rite Aids, Dwayne Reed's. They're not just pharmacies anymore. They're full-fledged convenience stores in which you can get everything you can. They are one of the most profitable businesses in the city right now. And the very first black-owned one was right downtown. This brother's business was burned down by Irish gangs and mobsters that were upset because they were being drafted into the Civil War, and our people at the time were not being drafted into the Civil War. So it is a disgusting history that we have in this country with the Irish. And there's also another riot that I want to bring out, but I'll let the brothers chime in on that. It's a disgusting history that we have with the Irish in this country. And no Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian should dare celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
We still have the poll in the chat, and it's still at 100% of our viewers believe that Black people should not, under no circumstances, celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Give them a hand.
That's right.
Hold up. Hold on. Sloppy, sir. I see green up on the table. Is that lawful? Is that lawful? I see green on the table. Sloppy. Is that lawful? Should we separate from the green for the month?
I assure you that green is not to celebrate St. Patrick's.
That's right.
Shalom, Lord of Christ, Officer Rayala. I want to chime in on this St. Patrick's Day thing,
green for the money.
Hey, shalom, Lord of Christ. It sounds like a leprechaun talking right now. Oh, that's correct. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. Nah. I'm just trying to get the gist of what was going on. But understand that New York, even when you look at like in the 90s with New York, right? In Harlem, like back then, you could have got a brownstone that needed refurbished for like $1 at an auction. And I don't know if many of y'all can remember, they used to have tour buses of like all these other nations driving through Harlem, you know, just taking pictures and looking around. And now when you look like 20, 30 years later, they was looking around because they was claiming real estate. Because what they do is they wait for the property value to go down. They burn it down. So then there's no value in it. So then they could buy it for cheap and then build it back up and bring the value back up. So, you know, that's been an ongoing thing with our oppressors now. You know what I mean?
Khan, and what you're saying is so hard body going west. And I remember that because, you know what I'm saying, during that time, you still have all brothers and sisters celebrating, so on and so forth, but you have burnt out buildings and those tour buses coming through during Harlem Week. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, Khan. You know what I mean?
I remember it. I remember it so well. It was not only Harlem, it was the Bronx, Brooklyn, so on and so forth. But you looked around and, you know what I'm saying, it looked like a bomb hit Harlem. But meanwhile, you had those tour buses. You had, you know what I'm saying, all the real estate. You know what I'm saying? Our oppressors looking around Harlem knew they was going to manipulate and take everything for about a penny. So right now in 2023, you know what I'm saying, those brownstones cost what? About like 20 million? You know what I'm saying? About 23 million? And for, you know what I'm saying, for something that had not been, you know what I'm saying, refurbished or, you know what I'm saying, remake, it's a abandoned building, but it costs like 23 million. It's a lot.
Kind of. Like, not like, especially over there. What's that? Strivers Road over there. Like you paying like $4 million. It probably went up. This was in the early 2000s. It was up there, but it was like $4 million. You know, but I'm sure it's probably more now. You know, as far as property value. But the point I'm making is that's what they do. Like you look at like Baltimore and Detroit, they just waiting to build up on there because right now it's burnt down. You see a lot of like real broken down areas there. But I guarantee you, within the next few years, they're gonna start building it back up, and then the property value gonna go back up once we're out of there. You know what I mean?
Right. Kind. Get that a hand, man. What? Listen, man, it's no secret that our oppressor uses every sneaky thing he could possibly do to disenfranchise our people, man. But just, you know, before we move on, man, listen, the poll is in the chat. Oh, you know, feel free. There's no right or wrong answer. Should blacks celebrate this disgusting St. Patrick's Day? Obviously not, just based on what our viewers are saying, man. The Irish are horrible, and big shout out to Captain Katazak. Give him a hand, man. We played that video earlier where he had to cut that disgusting leprechaun up in Boston, you know. And I was out there that day. I was a trooper reading for him, where he came back. The devil came back and kicked the money bucket because he was mad. Because he put $3 in a money bucket and thought we was gonna have some kinship because we was in slavery, and he's so-called saying that the Irish was in slavery. For our view, the Irish were not enslaved.
Yeah, that's right.
Not at all, you know. And we got brothers all over the nation that consistently bring that out because that's something that we always have to come up against. The Irish were not in slavery. The Irish are our oppressors, no different. And we can see that here in the draft riots. And let me tell you something. I'm not going to go into it, but there's other riots as well, in which the Irish, countless riots, in which specifically the Irish go into black communities and burn and destroy and kill everything that they can, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So damn your St. Patrick's Day. We gonna move on to the war report. Get that ahead. Yeah! We got Priest Officer Yawala in the building getting this war report popping, and I can't wait. So let's get this going.
So, if I may, you used to be a trooper?
Most Sign of Christ, we are back, man. The war report, Officer Yawala. Let's do this.
Hold on. Listen, we're gonna get into something that's coming. You know what I mean? It's the reason why you see a lot of the stuff happening with the money, right? Because ultimately they want to do digital IDs, but it's going to encompass everything. You know what I mean? The same way, I don't know if you guys know this, but like China has a social system, a social point system.
Come.
Right?
Yeah.
So they mix the AI with the digital IDs to where it's like, you know, if your point system ain't up, you can't get into places, you can't buy certain things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
you say something bad about the Chinese government online, decreases your point system.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? And it cripples you. It's like a digital caste system that's happening. Now, other countries, they're looking at this and they are jealous. Like, you have to understand, governments, right, to govern, to control, like they want to have more control. They don't want less control. They don't want more freedoms. That's counterintuitive. They want to be able to control you, the money, everything. So when they see what China's doing, they want in. And digital is the way to go. And digital money is the way to go because it's controllable.
Right.
Now I know everyone thought like, you know, crypto and stuff like that is a way out. And it somewhat is because it's decentralized, but now we realize, yeah, they control it through the avenues in which you trade. You know what I mean? So unless you have your personal crypto wallet, your money's in someone else's bank essentially.
Right.
And it's the same problem. So I want to go into this article talking about these digital IDs and how what they want to do is have your money expire. So they want to go into digital IDs, and then once your money is digital, it can expire. Meaning like a negative interest rate. So say it's negative 10% interest on your money. So every year you lose 10% of your money unless you spend it.
Damn.
So and they're doing this on the precipice of like, well, the whole point is to spend money and circulate it through the economy.
Right.
We don't want you hoarding the money, but really, you're just giving them
the money.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We gonna get into it.
Western governments are on the verge of introducing expiring money. A key central bank is considering implementing negative interest rates as it rolls out digital currency.
Right.
The European Central Bank is considering using negative interest rates as a tool that erodes the value of your money as it introduces the digital euro, its central bank digital currency.
Now, the U.S. is also coming out with a central bank digital currency. You know what I mean? They're trying to rival Bitcoin. So what you're going to see, I'll make a prediction, right? Because they're just coming out with it, it's easy. All you have to do is show some sort of instability with the competition. Right? You cause the problem and then you offer the solution. So as we see these banks fail, it's a perfect opportunity to roll out a digital dollar. Because then they can say what? Well, it can't fail. It is backed by the government. The FDIC owns it. You know? Like, so that is what the next step is going to be. Now understand, the same way you have a credit score today, right? Can you get a house without your credit score being good? Can you get a car without your credit score being good? Okay, there's going to be an advancing of that. You know what I'm saying? Imagine your money is decreasing because of your social score. You know what I'm saying? It's a way of controlling people without, you know, I don't have to tell you you can't say things online.
Right.
I'll just give you a punishment for it, and you'll regulate yourself. So that's what's coming, and this is the first instance of it on the Western forefront.
Right. Listen, it's ridiculous because black people don't even have great interest rates. Now they want to give you negative interest rates. You know what I'm saying? We fight to get good credit scores. Lord behold, you're going to be in the well above negatives. Your negatives is going to be high. Why? Because we prosper when stuff is bad, apparently.
I just want to let y'all know, like credit scores came out in 1989.
Right.
I was born before credit scores. Your parents was born before credit scores, so they got their house and car and all that stuff without having a credit score. Right? This is why it's so hard for you to get it now. So you looking at the past, like, why don't I add up? Why can't I get all these things? It's a different time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, I personally got my credit score up this year.
Yeah, right.
And it's amazing what you find out once you have a good credit score.
Mm-hmm.
You find out, you start getting offers. You get things for free. Like, it's a different world.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, your interest rates is very, very, very low. You know, you get introduced to different banks that offer different things. Now, obviously, credit scores was used to, you know, hold black people back, because at the time of that's when credit cards first came out.
Right.
You know, and at first, black people wasn't allowed to get credit cards. So once black people was allowed to get credit cards, and it became for everyone, they started, well, let's put a credit score in front of there, and you can't control it, and you can't see. It's a black box industry. You don't know. You know what I mean? So there's that. But we're going into a dangerous place because, you know, everyone wanted a low credit, low interest rate. You know, for when you borrow money, you have to pay it back.
Right.
You don't want to pay back 26%. But this is something totally insidious.
Right.
You know, negative interest rate.
Right. This is something.
If you hold your money in your bank, you think you're gonna save money? You're
Right.
not. Right. And this can only happen with digital money. That's the problem with paper money. You say the bank is failing. Well, I got 10,000 in my goddamn. I got it under my bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Old school.
Next to your mama's diploma, like I said.
Exactly. They're coming for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why you look at the things that's happening. Like, you know, the president saying like, well, we're gonna start. You know, you're gonna start paying tax on that $600 that you send your friend.
Right.
On Cash App and Venmo, and like this is all just to push you to a digital currency so they can control more. This is a different war. It's a financial war happening.
So Lockie, sir, if I may, I remembered what, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, our brothers and sisters that's lost.
Right.
And it was, you know what I'm saying, was a basketball player says, yo, just because I make this amount of money, I should be able to be in first in line to get a shot, you know what I'm saying, for the coronavirus, so on and so forth. So it was like the privilege of having money. You know what I'm saying? So what you was saying so hard by the One West, that I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to get disqualified because I'm in the negative. I'm going to go to jail because you know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to make money, you know what I'm saying, for my family.
They don't need to do that. They don't need to like scare you with jail. You already know what it is to not have money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is universal. You know, it's a weird predicament that we're being pushed into, and there's no real way out of it. So at least you'll know about it. You'll know what the plan is, so you can, you know, make a fuss.
Listen,
spread the word. You know what I mean? Spread the word. Like people don't know this is happening, and they'll ride right into it. But when you know what the plan is, you know, the World Economic Forum has a quote on the latest report. It says, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy.
Right.
You own nothing.
Khan, you saying it's all by One West because you know what I'm saying? Because, I always talk from, you know what I'm saying, the brother from the block.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And every time when you come up with this stuff, you always say, how do it affect the brothers from the block? And what you're saying, because that's the way it is right now on the block. I'm happy to blow up for 5 years. You know what I mean? I'm happy to, you know what I'm saying, spend all this money, and become a big rapper for 5 years. I'm happy to do that just to get the status, say, I did it. Then I'll be back in the hood, broke. You know what I'm saying? Don't know what I'm going to eat.
Listen, a lot of black people.
And sell drugs to my brothers and sisters.
A lot of black people they use check cash on places for their checks and stuff. They don't have bank accounts, things like that.
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
So here's the thing.
I still do that.
If there's no physical money, now what you going to do?
Right.
There's no avoiding this.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no avoiding this.
And
you already don't own shit. Like the banks own your house. The banks own your car. Like all the people you see walking around with cars and stuff, they don't.
You don't even own the knowledge that you got from college. You're still paying that off.
Exactly. Like, this is something super insidious because they're connecting it all together. So we was worried about being banned from the things we say. This is another level.
Right.
You ain't gonna just be banned. You might not be able to open a bank account.
Right.
It's something different. But I want to get more into it. Because it's important that people understand what's happening, why banks are failing, why, like, all it takes is a crisis to enact new things. You understand? Like, so, for example, 9/11 happened, right?
A lot of money.
They passed the Patriot Act, all this stuff, and then you have no rights.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that happened from 9/11.
Well, what Shalaka said, if I may, I was there. It was so much money coming into New York, and I was still broke. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, how is this? You know what I'm saying? Because I was in construction. I was in construction during the time. I was in construction during the time. And I remember, and what was going on, like, it was so much money coming into New York, but I was the only black person on the job. You know what I mean? I mean, like, literally, I was the only black person on the job, and I was still making crumbs. But meanwhile, people was making so much money.
You was the quota.
I didn't know that. I was the world.
They have to have a black person. It's like I told you, the quota. You need a quota.
And I'm talking about the whole job. So I'm talking about building the school, building the elementary. We was building the elementary school, and I looked around, and I'm like, yo, I'm the only brother on this job site. And you know what I'm saying? You see the electricians, you see the dump trucks, people. You know what I'm saying? Doing it. And I'm like, yo, why am the only brother on this job? Then, later on, you know what I'm saying, 1 or 2 brothers came around, but it was still a lot of money coming into New York during that time.
I don't think people fully understand how much money is being made today. It's just you're not making it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this money is, we have companies that are trillionaire companies now. Like Apple has $1 trillion. You know what I'm saying?
How can you count
that never was around ever. Exactly. But, you're not getting that, so it don't matter. But this is going deeper into your pockets. Let's continue.
This is according to Sarah Polovarik, the executive director of the Digital Euro Association think tank. During an appearance on the Poundcast podcast, Polovarik said that the ECB wants to keep the possibility open for tiered remuneration after it introduces the digital euro, because the ECB wants to have measures that incentivize or de-incentivize people to hold more or less CBDCs.
That's the digital currency.
She added that one of the measures of the ECB is considering is negative interest rates. Negative interest rates allow bureaucrats at central banks to choose a rate at which your money expires and punish those who save their money. For example, if they set a negative interest rate of negative 10%, you lose 10% of your money each year unless you spend it.
So they don't want you. The fear that they have, right, is that people are preparing for crisis.
Right.
So as you see things getting crazier, inflation, people are not spending money, which increases the problems. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the issue that they're having. So they're trying to find a way to make you spend that money, even though it's not smart to spend the money during crisis. They want you to do it anyway, because who are you spending the money? Who the money going to when you spend it?
Right.
Them. So it's like they're making sure that they keep getting money during these crises and not you.
Right. Imagine the level of manipulation with this. Like imagine if everybody in New York's money is going to expire on April 1st. You know what I'm saying? And I just so happen to be coming out with my new product on April 1st. You know, like imagine the manipulation that can happen.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Right.
That's the whole point.
And it's going to keep us in slavery even more.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Black people need to save their money.
Yeah.
Because if we can't save our money, you're in trouble. Why? Because you don't got brotherhood.
Right.
Niggas got stores, and you don't even want to help your brother out. You throw the stale bread out. Why don't you give it to a brother that might need the bread?
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what you can make with stale bread? French toast, nigga. You make French toast with stale bread, man. I just gave you a little coin if you ain't know that.
And let me tell you something else.
The bread will fill you up too. That stale bread will fill up a brother who don't have no food at all.
Right. Let me tell you something else, Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. Stories like this prove how you have been saving the economy for all these years.
Right.
Because though nobody spend more than Blacks and Hispanics.
Right.
That spending action stimulates the economy. That's why they market everything to you.
It's like, I think it's like $2 trillion in spending for the Black.
And we don't even got nothing.
We spend more than countries.
Damn right.
Just the Black community.
Just the Black community.
Black Friday. You try to say Blacks and Hispanics and American Indians is a country. Because we got a country's budget.
Think of it like this, right? You see the revolution happening in France. France is smaller than Texas.
Right.
Just so you can start to put things in perspective.
Right.
How many people do you think is actually in France? You understand? There's like 40 million Black Americans. You understand?
Right.
And we control We control trends, all of them, because it all stems from our innovation and from being, oppressed and such. So that's a country.
That's not including Hispanics.
That's not including Hispanics or natives. Right. That's a country spending power.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like literally the fourth GDP of India is hair. And who do you think is buying it?
Oh, we are.
Of course. So just in hair, we're supporting India.
Right.
The country India.
And
GDP, gross domestic product.
And if I may, and also satellite communities in other countries.
Of course.
That's crazy. We are a country and we supporting the satellite communities because we will be the base of operations that can set up shops in other countries.
And here's the thing. Right now, the black dollar leaves the Black community. It only stays in the Black community for 6 hours. So that trillion in spending a year, it only stays in the Black community 6 hours. You know what I mean?
Right. And most of us don't even have money in the bank accounts anyway.
Exactly.
So this will affect you even worse because even that little $200 and $300 you're trying to keep to the end of the year is going to be gone anyway.
Right.
You're going to have to spend it.
You may only have, first off, most Americans don't have at least $500 in savings. Most.
Right.
Like a ridiculous amount, like probably 65%. Right? So just on your overlap, generally people have like $200, $300.
Right.
Well, imagine that disappearing every year.
Right.
You understand? It's
and let me tell you,
it's ridiculous. When you get into the specifics of it, how does it work? Does it take what the gross you made that year? 10% of that?
Right.
Let's take 10% of what's currently in the bank. You understand?
Right.
It's terrible.
Right.
It could be bad or horrifying.
Right.
Imagine in the end of the year, you know, they take 400 from you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know
and that's all you got. And then you'll go into the negative, and then they'll charge you overdraft fees.
Right.
Exactly.
That was
Now you owe
that was
money
made up
for
2
not
days
having
ago.
money.
Right.
That was made up 2 days ago.
You have money in here, now you gotta owe me money.
Now think of
You
that.
had money in here.
Listen,
You
that's
gotta owe me
just-
money.
That's just the digital dollar,
Oh, man.
right? And you already see what that's about. Now think of that added to the digital ID, having a whole social score. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Meaning your social score determines the interest rate, the negative interest rate.
Damn.
You see how you see?
Right.
To where it will make you behave a way.
Damn right. And when we move into the next part of this, it definitely goes into exactly what you just said. Listen to this, black man, Hispanic man, because this is crazy. The negative interest rates are just one of the ways the World Bank and central banks around the world hope to control how people spend by programming their money.
Right.
The ECB has previously proposed having spending limits on the digital euro. The Bank of England wants the power to decide what people spend their CBDCs on, which is the digital currency. And the World Bank wants to be able to ban certain users from access to cash.
That's it, black man. You are.
You're banned.
You're done.
Right.
You're
Who
absolutely
always get the whip?
the blunt of everything.
Whenever these things happen, who always get the whip? You.
And the sad part about this is any type of thing our oppressor does, any bills, any social score, experiment, anything he does to benefit his people, our people suffer even more. So that means there's more drugs, more stealings, more murder, more prostitutions, more whores, more anything.
Crime
It's gonna go up.
Crime comes from poverty.
Right.
So if poverty is going up, guess what? Crime is, because people are not going to starve in silence.
Nope.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're not going to just quietly starve and then hide away. No, they're gonna try to survive. They're gonna try to do what they gotta do.
Can you imagine? You done worked 40 hours.
40.
You earned your money.
Sure.
You are at the store. You have the money in your account.
Right.
And they tell you that you can only spend this much today. You gotta wait for it in the morning to spend the rest.
Right.
Like this is what this is coming to.
And to tie it in, to understand, like, okay, they're trying to make it, they don't like that they can only have these economic bursts during so-called holidays. You know what I mean? The first attempt was to try to make more holidays, essentially. You know what I mean? National Women's Day. Let's try to make more holidays so they can keep increasing the spending besides just Christmas and Valentine's.
Right.
All right. So now they have this, where it's like, okay, if we can control what they can spend or when they can spend or how much they can spend, we can control the whole economy.
Right.
We don't have to rely on the holiday. Like that's part of it too. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to have to rely on factors they can't control. And it's coming. It's coming. You look at some of those restrictions and you say like, well, I'll just buy crypto from, you'll buy it? You sure?
Right.
You sure?
Right.
You sure that's not going to be on one of the, you think they'll let you shop with the competition?
Right.
No, that's the whole point. You won't buy it. You won't buy crypto. You won't buy out of this.
Right.
You won't be allowed.
They will immediately shut down your ability to invest in agriculture, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You won't be able to get a lamb, a cow. They will restrict your ability to acquire property, that's for sure.
Right.
Lord forbid you own a house, and try to get property. They are trying to enslave us in every way that they possibly can.
Right.
That's right.
Every way that they possibly can, man. It's a damn shame.
If you had to clap it up, and I was saying this, oh man, from the 90s. If they could bring back slavery, they will.
Let's
Slavery ain't never left.
I'm talking about chains and whips.
Right.
If they can bring that back,
fine tune it. That's what they've always been doing. They fine tune it.
they fine tune it, but if they want to bring back chains and whips.
Chains
They
and
want
whips
to bring that back.
inefficient.
Huh?
Chains and whips are inefficient.
No. What I'm saying is, if they could bring that back to go back to chains and whips and put your head in a laughing barrel,
Listen,
they will. You know what I mean?
hear
They
you.
will.
I hear you, but most of that to them, like if you want to look at how they look at it, that's a ego thing.
Yeah, it comes.
You know what I mean? They trying to make slavery where it's like we gonna get all the money.
All of the monies.
You're gonna work. You're already working for them.
The monies.
Just think about it. You're just not in chattel slavery. I mean, you're just not seen as property per se. But who's your boss?
Right.
You're already working for them. This literally, black people are working for white people at the same rate. The rate hasn't changed. You're already working for them, right? You're already running all the municipalities. Who's piloting all the trains and it's us. Who's the bus drivers? Who's the train operators? You're already doing it. Now they're trying to find a way for you not to be able to hide none of that money.
Right.
You know what I mean? They want all the funds, all of them. And they need a way to stop anyone who speaks against them. And that's you tie in the digital dollar with the digital ID, with the social score. It's perfection.
Dang.
You think they hate these countries that's doing this type of stuff? They envy these countries. You know what I'm saying? They envy the fact that China could just be like, you know what? He wrote something on Twitter. He can't buy food no more.
And you know what's so heavy about it is the scripture talks about why Babylon has to be destroyed because it's a melting pot.
Right.
If America was never a melting pot, they would have won. And the reason why I said that because white supremacy would just be in America.
Right.
They'll have their own laws or whatever. But the point that America is a melting pot, what happens? You can be whatever God you want to be. You could be whoever you want to do. You can do this. You can do that. You want to be Indian? Be Indian. You want to do you want to be a Jamaican god or this god or whatever. You can do whatever you want in America, and that's the problem. We're in China. Guess what? We celebrate Chinese New Year. We do this. We do that. Ain't no other American stuff. And if there is, guess what happened? They'll hand you right in front of their square. So nobody else can do whatever foolishness that you trying to bring to the people.
They got Christians and Muslims in concentration camps in China right now.
I'm saying that should let you know.
You can't be outspoken. You can't, or none of them. None of those guys. I don't know if you know that. Maybe you don't know it. And matter of fact, that's why like certain industries is paid by China. They can't say nothing. You'll never see an NBA star say anything about China ever. Yeah, I mean they damn near paid LeBron $1 billion to never speak on China.
Wait, Slack is $1 billion currency. Like I'm talking about $1 billion like electronic. It's just on paper. It's just on paper.
It's supposed to be over his lifetime. Whatever. It's a stupid deal. Nike makes $40 billion a year.
But do you see? But do you see the dollar? Do you see the $1 billion like the what I'm looking on the palette? The palette of this is the money that you could touch.
That don't even exist anymore.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm getting at. That's exactly what I'm getting at.
Even the cash, it says it's a promissory note. It's an IOU.
The problem is we have too much imagery of movies in our heads.
Right.
Like you look at Batman with the Joker and you see Joker sliding out of money like, woo! That ain't happening. Don't know my boss have that much amount of money. Ain't nobody giving you the money like that. That's not how it works.
That's not.
It's not practical.
Right.
And, that's a good way to have them take it away.
Well, Comic-Con, that's what, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I always I have to bring up because the way I grew up. Because, remember, there was a lot of duffel bags going around.
Right.
If you get what I'm saying, people had to touch it. Remember, what? I put that money in my mattress. I grew up in that era, the mattress money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now it's gone. There's no more mattress. There's no more mattress. There's no more rainy days or anything like that. Like, just in case, take the cash.
Just in case.
Take this cash. You know what I mean?
Just buy this money. Just buy this case.
Yeah.
Buy this case of water.
Yeah, you buy this case of water.
Right. Just in case no more.
trying to end all. That's a brave new world.
That's crazy.
And the problem is, a lot of people are not attuned to what's happening. Like, you know, I don't see this on the news as much. You know what I'm saying? I don't see people or hear people talking about things like this. It's needed to know. You have to know the direction that you're going in. You know what I mean?
Damn right.
And I gotta say this because it's for my brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, blacks, Hispanics, and so forth, and American Indians that's on the block thinking it's business as usual. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why you don't see duffel bags no more. It's a reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You see this stuff on TV. That stuff ain't real.
Like
that stuff ain't real at all.
The things I'm talking about, like, it's not some far off in the future. Like it's happening now. Like the digital score is right now in China. It's not some far off. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? This is Europe they're talking about. You think it's gonna come? Last week, you know, 2 big banks failed.
2.
And the feds had to bail them out over the weekend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is happening now. This is the talks that's happening now. And our people are distracted by so much other stuff. You know what I'm saying? They may not understand. Like, this is not some fairy tale. This is not some ponderance thing in the future. This is happening now. Right now.
And if I may, you know me, I still gotta go back to the streets because I was that guy. I just found out about credit. I don't know anything about it. I'm on the block. Well, I don't got to think about credit. And you saying right now, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you are living in, you know what I'm saying, in America, you are that.
Yeah.
You are. We are going to take your drug money. We're going to take all that money because that's how we get down.
This is the future.
That's the future.
This is.
Doesn't matter. They want to go half on a nickel bag. Regardless, you got to pay the government. If you pay, if you selling the nickel bag, the government gonna get half.
You're thinking too old school, man.
The crackhead pay you back.
You're thinking too old school.
No, what I'm just saying is they're gonna go out to pay the government regardless. That's what I'm trying to say.
What they're looking at is that with the current credit score and the current credit agencies, and if you know anything about the 3 major credit bureaus, these are not government entities. These are privately owned, privately owned companies that come up with this rating score, and they base this score on certain criteria. You know, your payment history, your utilization, your debt to income ratio, all these different things to combine your credit score. What the office is bringing out is that moving forward, your behavior is going to be factored into your credit score. Yeah. Like you talk mean to me, I'm downgrading your credit score. You know, I can't believe you know
worse than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These is not going to be private industries.
Yeah.
Right. These are going to be government entities.
I broke a crackhead CO.
Right. Yeah.
Crackheads and COs at the same time. The crackheads. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you say European, if it's locked, sir, if I may, if you say European cigarettes, if you call somebody, you know what I'm saying, what was it, Britain cigarettes, you know what Britain cigarettes is called, right?
A bundle of sticks.
Yeah, a bundle of sticks. If you call somebody a bundle of sticks from a European point of view, European saying,
it's even worse than you think.
Damn, it's like that.
You know what I'm saying? Speaking of the UK, I think there was like 3,000 people who've been arrested in the UK from things they said online. That's seen as, listen, that can be seen as violence.
Right.
Calling someone what a bundle of sticks are. That can be seen as violence. Like, it's worse than y'all. I'm trying to get this across. It's worse than you think. And it's worse than you think because it's not necessarily just the future. It's now. It's happening. It's almost surrounding America. You know what I'm saying? This is a reality. This go to China. This is China right now. Right? This is becoming Japan. We're reading about it becoming Western Europe. Like, this is the world we live in. You know what I mean? And it's only a matter of time before it's going to be in the country you live in.
Right.
Because it already has started. Right? The domino's already been pushed. The banks are already getting bailed out, right? The Fed is already introducing the new currency, right? They're already doing it. And like, you gotta understand, like you look at Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, the Feds took it. That's what the people not understanding. They're running it now. They took it. They took hold of it. You know what I mean? It failed and they took it. You know, you understand? So it's like, this is the future. This is the future. It's going to get grim for you. You know, you think you're dealing with inflation now, but you can do whatever you want with your money.
Right.
What happens when the inflation is not going to stop and you can't do what you want with your money? That's where we're going. And it's everyone. Even the little money you have. Man, our people are not equipped for this.
That's right.
We're not thinking about it. We're not even equipped to deal with this type of issue. You know what I mean? And they don't even know about it. So this is what's important about it. Let's wrap this up a little bit.
We are back, man. How about a round of applause for that war report? Clap it up. Hopefully y'all were all burning it down with that war report. Right. Listen, man, we say it all the time. There's a war going on outside. Right. Get to the War Report podcast. Right. Every letter. Let's get it going.
If I should say, right? Let me get a scripture. Let me get Psalms 23 and 4. Psalms 23 and 4. You know what I'm saying? Because people, you're gonna have to get your stuff together, man. You're gonna have to walk through the valley of the shadow of death. That's what I'm about to bring out. Y'all might heard that scripture, but have you heard the entirety of that scripture? You might have heard Puffy say it, you know what I'm saying, on a Biggie song, but he chopped it up. He didn't tell you the rest of it. Keep going. Read what you got, Harv.
This is Psalms chapter 23, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death,
right,
I will fear no evil.
You will do what?
Fear no evil.
Listen, and that's what we got to do, man. It's a yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. The shadow of death is America, man.
That's right.
You walking through the shadows of death every single day. But the thing is, you got to do what?
Fear no evil.
And that's what we got to do, man. We got to fear no evil walking through the valley of the shadow of death, man.
Right.
Do you hear what Priest and Officer Yawala just said? We ain't going to have absolutely no funds, man. And you're not even paying your tithes, giving it to the Most High. It's going to be at some point, ain't none of us going to have anything. All we're going to have is each other and skills.
Right.
That's it. What do you bring? There's no funds, there's no nothing. So what you can do? You a carpenter? Can you farm? What can you do? Are you just a nigga talking stuff on the street? What can you do now? Because all our funds is going to be depleted at some point. We ain't going to have anything but brotherhood and sisterhood.
Right.
But that's why it says, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I fear no evil. Keep going.
For thou art with me.
Well, what?
Thou art with me.
We're talking about the Lord, man. No matter where we walk through, no matter where in America, when you fear no evil, what's going to happen?
Thou art with me.
The Lord's going to be with you, man. He's going to be with you when you fear no evil, especially when you serve the Most High in Christ, man.
That's right.
Keep going.
Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
Listen, the Lord's statutes and commandments, they're going to comfort you, man.
That's right.
That's what they're there for. During a time when there ain't no money, guess what's going to comfort you? Brotherhood, man. And guess where brotherhood comes from? The Lord's statutes and commandments.
Right.
Because without the Lord's statutes and commandments, what's going to go on? Like we brought up, it's going to be rape, murder, prostitution, drugs. You're going to be high off your mind. Why? because they ain't no money. There ain't no money to go around. They just said they're gonna give you negative 10%. That's an example, and that's for probably like the middle class white man.
Right.
For black people, you're gonna have a negative 30-something% score because you ain't spending your money.
Right.
And they said they're gonna control what you spend it on.
Right.
For God's sake, man, get in this goddamn truth, man.
Right.
Get in this truth because if somebody's controlling your money, it's gonna be a problem, right?
Right.
You don't like nobody controlling your money, right? Well, the oppressor just told you if you don't buy these if you don't go to this Yankee game, if you don't go ahead and buy this Civic and these hatchbacks or whatever you buy now, you gonna lose your money at the end of the year.
But sir, you trying to tell me that you trying to pay tithes to ISUPK?
Right.
You trying to pay tithes to ISUPK?
Right, you can't.
You want to cancel that cash out?
Right.
And that Zelle.
Listen, your credit score or your ID, what social score just went down, man.
Right. They trying to take time.
Right. They
taking 10%.
They going to take the 10%.
They want your 10%.
Right. Absolutely. Keep going hard when you get the chance with the scripture.
Verse 5. Thou preparest a table before me. In the presence of mine enemies.
In my what?
The presence of mine enemies.
Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Man, only the Lord can do that for you, man.
That's right.
Imagine how much drug dealers wanted to do something like that. I'm prospering in front of my enemies, but what ends up happening? They get shot. They get murdered. They get run up into the crack spot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody get murdered. Everybody gets shot. A little girl gets shot. But the Lord is telling you, listen, he'll prepare a table in front of your enemies, man. That's how you're going to prosper in front of your enemies while they're failing. Right. Just remember, what is it? It crossed my mind. The Great Depression.
Right.
They was suffering while we was prospering. Why? Because we already knew what it was like to be broke. We survived off 10,000 a year. That little that piece of garbage job you got paying you with $12, $11, $15, and especially it depends on where you at because certain places has different minimum wage.
$10, sir.
Right.
$10.
Some places still is at 8 something. So you survive of 10,000 a year, 8,000 a year. You scrambling to make it. Well, the Lord tells you, listen, you follow me. I'm gonna prepare the table in front of your enemies, man. Keep going.
Thou anointest my head with oil.
Right.
My cup runneth over.
Listen, you can't beat that, man.
Right.
The Lord saying he's going to anoint your head with oil and your cup is going to run over. That means you're going to have an abundance of things, man.
Right.
You're going to have abundance of things in the valley of the shadow of death. Remember where we at. You're in the valley of the shadow of death. He's going to prepare a table for you in front of your enemies and everything's going to run over. That means you're going to prosper in a time that no one should be prospering in, man. Right. Keep going.
Verse 6. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life.
Right.
And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
And that's why. That's why. Puffy ain't tell you that. Puffy ain't tell you this, though, right?
Right.
Puffy read this scripture on Biggie's album, but he ain't tell you the real meaning of this.
Right.
The meaning of this, listen, when we all come together as brothers and sisters, guess what? We're going to prosper and everything's going to overflow, man. But we got to have brotherhood and sisterhood to make sure we can do this, man. To make sure our cups overflow with honey and milk and whatever. Where there's a cesspool in the white man's backyard.
Right.
When he turns on his pipes, he gets brown water like it does in Michigan, Flint, Michigan. Right. And wine comes out your goddamn faucet, man. That's what we pray for. And that's where you're going to only get it if you come into the ISUPK out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, and serve the Lord, man. Right. And this is why you should come to the Passover. This is why, because maybe the Lord might end everything this April 1st, man.
Right.
He just might destroy this wicked society if we all decide to come and bunch up into the Lord's Passover in North Carolina, man. That's it.
Right. Damn right. Give me that hand.
You're right.
And
That's
speaking.
If I may, and Slocky, and that's the reason. You know what I'm saying? Priest and Commander Junior Yohana gave a goddamn order for all Israelite groups. You know what I'm saying? To report to the Passover.
Right.
To report to the goddamn Passover. All Israelite groups to report to the Passover.
Right,
it was an order. It was a goddamn order for you to come to the Passover. Because you don't know that your house shall come down. You know what I'm saying? You will save us from our oppressors.
Most high in Christ. And speaking of the Passover, man, big shout out to the Passover. April 1st, Raleigh, North Carolina. It is going down the Lord's 54th annual Passover, hosted by Commander General Yohana. That's in 2 weeks, y'all.
Listen, it's tomorrow.
It's
to me.
tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow to me because it's getting close. I was just told me I can't save money no more, so I'm broke. I got a negative 10% credit score right now because I don't know what to do, and I gotta make it to the Passover.
It's Slocky. You know I got a scripture for that. I got a scripture for that.
But listen, man, show up to the Lord's 54th annual Passover hosted by Commander General Yohana, Raleigh, North Carolina, April 1st. And backed by popular demand, we got the drink of the week. Going down.
Before we go there, right? Let's take a quick commercial break. Let's play like 1 or 2 songs, and let's come back to the drink of the week.
Okay.
Slow it down. Let's go take a break real quick, play a video, and we're coming right back with the drink of the week.
Shaw. Shout out to
Call me Lisa too Jeezy. I make that shit look easy. How bitches come and they greet me, they teach me. Bitches ain't shit and they never will be. I still see hoes on my nuts, but they can't feel me. But really though, I'm in beast mode with the flow. And it's 10 in the morning, I get up and this you know that I look into the mirror through my eyes. I see my soul. I see a true ass priest, Prince of Israel. Yes, bro. I be freshen up, wash up, a true nigga. Throw on my gold, it should go, you know me, cuz. Slip out that door with my 4th dimension cologne. Shout out TLC, Israel, you know what we own. Then I call up, cut this up. Wasn't much, just refresh with some young stars. Make some noise with this music, with some lost tribes. Yeah, nigga, yeah. Now I know that times may change, but bitch, I'm still the same. Yeah, and I know this a crazy ass game. They really ain't a thing. And they know that gun gon' bang. Ain't gonna die today. Whoa, and they know what we all gon' say. Bitch on UPK. Hey, bitch on UPK. Hey. I can't even think about you right now. Yeah, I'm chillin' with the homies and you know how I put down. I'm cool and I'm just sippin' while fucking with these little bitches. Ice up on my neck, got these hoes so consistent and so relentless that I just come back with stats in my backpack. I gotta make a track. Man, fuck what you're talking about, that bitch is a net. Now I don't smoke no crap, but shoot a nigga from the back. I just on the block, now these bitches won't come out. Me and Cud chillin', got Modelos in the south. Niggas be muggin', but I name it in their mouth. Cause they know how Prince Sharp put it down. Down, did it down. Hot in my coupe cruising around town. They all in the back on the ground. Glizzy on the mount. Bitches want water like I'm a fountain. They follow to the house. Well, shit, this ain't even my house. But, top ass bitches, they wanna lounge. Want me dog it out like a hound. But look what I found. When you're up, they all wanna come around. But when you're down, they just kick you on the ground. Lame ass nigga, he that bitch master. Lame ass buster, you fucking cracker. Judas ass boy, you backstabber. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what one I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for right now.
We are back. It's going down. The drink of the week, backed by popular demand. We got the roughest, toughest done out of Yonkers, New York. Priest officer, Bratazar in the building. Give him a hand. Yes, we are back with the drink of the week. It's going down. Now listen, man, we brought out many different whiskeys here on the drink of the week. And most of them are from Tennessee, man. Big shout out to the brothers down in Tennessee. The brothers down in Tennessee.
That's
the school in Tennessee. Give them a big hand, man.
That's right.
You know, ISUPK, we're all over the nation. But, you know, people from Tennessee seem to think that they got the best bourbon in the country, man. What? Well, we're letting it be known today that Brooklyn's very own Kings County Distillery got some amazing bourbon. We make it right here in NYC, y'all. Give them 5 boroughs a hand. Listen, man, you can make whiskey wherever you want to make it, but it won't have that punch that it's gonna have if it ain't from Brooklyn, New York. Big shout out to the Kings County Distillery, and that's what we will be tasting today. So let's get it popping, y'all.
That's right.
So we're gonna take a look what we have here, man. We're gonna go ahead and crack this.
Wait, let's lock it. Right now, you know what I'm saying? It's the drink of the week. Right now, we're doing what's the name of this drink right here that we're doing right here? If we want to promote it.
This is bourbon from the Kings County Distillery, Brooklyn, New York. Kings County.
Yeah, I know that, but there's a name to this. Let me see here. But anyway,
that's the name. No, that's the name. The name is King County Distillery.
King County Distillery. Right now we're drinking a bourbon, which is under the umbrella of whiskey, but America want to be unique, so they call their whiskey bourbon.
Right.
And the bourbon is made generic, exactly. And one thing about the American whiskey, you know what I'm saying? It is, you know what I'm saying? It is strenuous. You know what I'm saying, to call it a bourbon. You know what I'm saying? They got so many laws, so many hurdles for you to jump over to call it, you know what I'm saying, a bourbon. So, you know what I'm saying, it's made by 50, you know what I'm saying, by like 51 to 55% corn, you know what I'm saying? And you have to distill it in fresh barrels every time.
Right.
There's no reuse of the barrels. We don't, you know what I'm saying, Americans, you know what I'm saying, Americans do not reuse the barrels. They ship the barrels out. Anytime that you want to make a bourbon, you have to use fresh corn and fresh barrels.
Ain't that something? America not using something over and over again? They shipping something out because they use once? That's unbelievable.
Right. And if I may just bring it out again, because I want to make sure we bring this out every single time we bring bourbon on Drink of the Week. The distilling process used to distill all bourbon, which is American whiskey, was invented and mastered by a black man, Uncle Nearest. Give him a hand.
That's right.
Give him a hand. Right. You know, so you always got to pay homage to that brother who invented the process of distilling whiskey here, which they call bourbon. And we're gonna go ahead and crack this and see what it's about.
So, and then if I may, this is a bourbon. You know what I'm saying? This is ISUPK. I'm priest and officer Paratazar. I'm letting you know the brothers and sisters to drink responsible.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Right now we're coming to the Passover. You know, and it's gonna in the Passover we have a lot of fun, so on and so forth. But we have to drink responsible. We cannot be no filthy drunks.
Right.
And disrespect each other, disrespect the brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Drinking strong is being professional. It's being classy.
Right.
It's being understanding. You know what I mean? And we drink to enjoy ourselves and to have the experience.
Right.
Because ISUPK promote drinking responsible. You know what I'm saying? Right now I'm pushing. The Passover is April 1st. We drinking some damn good bourbon.
That's right.
What year is this? How many years is this? Between 3 and 6 year old bourbon, craft bourbon. Right after we drink, I suggest don't drink at all until the Passover.
Right.
Until the Passover. Can we do that? Don't drink until the Passover for your brother and sister, because that's what Christ said. I won't drink no wine until I see my brothers.
All right, give that a hand. So let's get a nose on this fine bourbon out of Brooklyn, New York.
Can I pour it?
Most High Christ.
Shout out to Cognac. drink it?
Oh, for sure.
You drink it, son?
Yeah, I'll take it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
First thing I noticed is that
Yeah, it's a little bit.
she definitely got some beautiful legs on her.
Oh yeah, she's stout.
She a stallion.
Use some tissue.
Big shout out to all of a sudden. Yashawam, Yahweh. She a stallion.
Yeah, right.
She a stallion.
Right here. Turn it up right there. Turn it up. And also I have to look at it. This is Slaki, if I may. This is American bourbon. There's no preservative. There's no artificial coloring or anything like that. This is straight. Look at the color. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's like I call it golden brown. I call that golden brown right there. You know what I mean? Golden brown. The oils is thicker snicker. You know what I'm saying? That's the legs. You know what I'm saying? That's the legs. We stir it up right there. You know what I'm saying? Look at those legs. They just dropping all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? This is a runner. This is a runner. This is a track star from the Olympics. Our sister who be running those thicker snicker thighs. We can see it right there. Look at that. It's all over the glass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get a nose to it.
She's beautiful.
If I could break it down, Barbershop. If I could break it down. See, off the top. Off the top. You know what I'm saying? We get butterscotch, cinnamon, you know what I'm saying? Caramel, you know what I'm saying? Syrup, you know what I'm saying? That's that, you know what I'm saying? That's that corn, you know what I'm saying? That's that corn, you know? Look at that, cinnamon toast crunch. That's what I get. That's how I get.
Listen, I got the butterscotch. I got some rye. I got a slight caramel. Unfortunately, I did not get the cinnamon toast crunch.
I get the cinnamon toast crunch, but the best bourbon is the bourbon that you like to drink.
Right.
So my description is always, she's talking to me. I pushed up on her and she's talking to me nicely. Her thighs looking nice and thick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She give me conversation. She have a job. You know what I'm saying? She's in the truth and she understands me. She understands me.
Damn right.
And understand, you know what I'm saying? I am priest and officer Parataza out of Yonkers, New York, while yo was in the house.
Damn right.
And she started to dance with me.
Oh.
She put me on the dance floor and I do my 1-2 step. And she in front and she was like, I'm down with the 1-2 step.
Right.
Listen,
Damn right.
Listen, I'm getting very, very similar on the front end. I get that butterscotch. She certainly got a job. And she's from somewhere
Where's she from?
in Bed-Stuy. You know, that's what I'm getting.
I got her cousin in Yonkers. I got her cousin in Yonkers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Look at it. Wait, hold on. There's a backdrop. There's a backdrop. I get a sour viney, you know what I'm saying? Viney minty, like a what is grapefruit? Like a grapefruit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like a sour on a backdrop. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like floral and citrus.
Citrus, that's right.
Citrus, that's the word I'm looking for.
I definitely got citrus.
There's a citrus backdrop. Oh man, she's so goddamn fine.
She's so nice on the front.
She's so nice. She's so I you know what I'm saying? I could just sniff her neck all day.
Oh,
Right.
Let me tell you something. She got Indian in her family.
Are we gonna go in?
Oh, man.
We gonna go in?
It's not that bad. You know me, I'm a wine drinker.
Good night.
Yeah.
See, this is the reason why Peace and Officer Paracas. Oh, I thought she left, but she came back.
Oh, damn.
Oh, she's staying.
Right, she's staying.
She said, no, boo. I cannot marry you tonight. I just met you. I got a court. I got to talk to the men above me. I got to talk to the men above you. No. You cannot talk. You cannot talk me. No. I'm not going to do it tonight.
That's right.
I'm going to talk to the men above me. I'm not going to sleep with you. Still, you going to put out that thigh like that? Don't put out that thigh. And she's still going on. I told her, I'm a priest. And she's still going on. And you got the sweet on the front, you know what I'm saying? The harsh on the back. You know what I'm saying? You got the cinnamon, you got the star anise, you got the pepper, you got the spice, you got the smoke. And she's still going. She's still going. Oh no. You're not gonna put on that. She done put some olive oil on her legs.
Good
She
man.
done put olive oil. You know what I'm saying? Because the oils is going on.
Bad.
The oils. She I will Salaki, if I may, you know what I'm saying, to the men above me, I will fish her into the school. I will fish her into the school. She is right. Stop.
Let me tell you something. She is certainly right, man. She's all natural. Let me tell you something. She must be using that mama sense. Give it up for mama sense.
And she got an afro.
Right. And she got an afro.
And she got an afro.
She got an afro. No doubt about it. She got a fro. No doubt about it, man. This is a amazing bourbon that we got here straight out of Brooklyn, New York, man. Give Brooklyn a hand. Give us a harbor hand.
Brooklyn, New York. Make sure that you watch. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you watch. You know what I'm saying? Your wallet. Protect your wallet when you're going to get this bourbon, this fine bourbon. Just protect your wallet. Protect your wallet. Going into Brooklyn. But it would be worth distilling. It would be worth distilling of your wallet because, oh damn, this is damn good bourbon. Damn good bourbon. And this is coming from Police Officer Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cognac. That's a stab. That is a stab to Cognac.
Listen, man, let me tell you something. This bourbon here may have just converted me. Big shout out to Trooper LeCom, man, for putting us onto this bourbon straight out of Brooklyn, New York. This bourbon is distilled in Brooklyn, New York. You know, we don't want to promote it too much because it's not a black-owned business. You know, we like to promote black-owned business, but we will say that it's some damn good bourbon coming out of the 5 boroughs, man. Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. You know, and like I said, ISUBK, we make sure that brothers and sisters drink responsible.
That's right.
We ain't no goddamn drunks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We could drink responsible. You know, if you think that, you know what I'm saying, be mindful. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't mindful about yourself, you know what I'm saying, be mindful about others by you drinking so much. Because if a brother come to you and say, yo, just fall back a little, you know what I'm saying, you should. Think about him, you know what I'm saying? Be responsible of that. Because we promote drinking responsible, you know what I mean? And I'm saying this, try not to drink anything until the Passover. Try not to drink anything until the Passover. The reason why I'm saying it, because if you decide to drink, call the man above you. Because I think that's a problem.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a problem. Because blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, we go outside, you know what I'm saying, and we can see our brothers and sisters. I got to drink the first time when I get up. You know what I'm saying? To get my day on. I got to take a shot to get my day on. You know what I'm saying? I got to take 5 shots to get my day on, and I got to take a shot to go to bed. That is bad.
Right.
That is very bad if you have to take a shot to go to bed.
Right.
To go to bed. You're already tired working 24 hours a day. You're already tired, and you got to take another shot? That's not cool. That's not cool. Drink responsible. That's the reason why we got prison programs, GED programs, food drive, and goddamn counseling for our goddamn people, for blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Because we know, especially the Native American Indians. I did a segment on this. Our, you know what I'm saying? Our brothers, the Native American Indians, is drinking themselves to death.
Right.
Drinking themselves to death. And guess who's setting up the liquor stores? Our oppressors.
Right.
On the reservations, guess what? It's against the law to drink liquor.
Right.
because we so oppressed. It's a goddamn against the law to drink liquor. It's against the law. But our oppressors across the street or across the borderline from the reservations in their store, they set up three goddamn liquor stores 3 feet away from the borderline where you cannot drink liquor. You know what I'm saying? The snow roaches is the devil what the Bible speaks of. That's what I'm saying. That's right. Sisters, you know what I'm saying? To the Passover.
Damn right.
Today's Sunday. What is March 19th? Don't drink no liquor until April 1st.
Right.
I'm gonna put that out there. Do not drink no liquor, no strong, no wine, no anything until April 1st.
That's right.
Can we do that?
Most High Christ. Most High Christ. And big shout out to Trooper Lacombe. He posted a comment in the chat. He said she's complex. She most certainly is. She most certainly is complex. That's right. Listen, man, big shout out to the drink of the week. Officer Pratazar out of YO. He got the best palate in the game. Well, so sir, before we go, before we done with the drink of the week, on a scale of 1 to 10, just based on the price point, where would you leave this fine whiskey, this bourbon out of Brooklyn, New York?
The price point, I gotta give it to it because this is a craft. This is the craft. It's like 100 people only focusing on one bourbon. You know what I'm saying? So it's, you know what I'm saying, for the money, it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a craft bourbon. Also the taste palette, the year, the so on and so forth. This is a damn good bourbon. It's smooth. You know what I mean? And it's worth the money. I call it, you know what I'm saying? I put it in that category. I put it in low price, high shelf.
Damn right. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where we at with it?
It's pretty enough. It's an 8.
Damn right. Give that a hand. Listen, man. Tennessee ain't the only place where you can get bourbon from. You can get bourbon from right here in New York City, out of Brooklyn, New York. Some damn good bourbon. Big shout out to the drink of the week, man. And we gonna go ahead.
He said the drink of the week is smooth, and he was a wine. He's a wine drinker. He's a goddamn wine drinker. You know what I'm saying? But the drink of the week was smooth, and that's what we say.
Listen, I don't be drinking that heavy alcohol.
Not the heavy artillery. He said,
I'm where the women at. Where the wine, that's where the women at.
Right.
I'm gonna be drinking wine with y'all.
Damn right. Listen, man, that was the drink of the week. We're going to get into this next story, of course, because this next story hits home. You know, we were just speaking about Tennessee with regards to the whiskey, but there's other news regarding Tennessee that we're going to bring out today. And so let's check this out real quick.
Could I do?
Hold on.
Yeah, you can make.
Slovakia, one moment.
It should come up automatically when you go to the what's-the-name. You should be able to share it. It's not up there? No.
Nah. I'll grab it though. And so there's some news coming out from Tennessee, in which there was a Republican senator, I believe. And so let's check this out. Shocked as Tennessee Republican suggests lynching-style hangings as method of execution. And let's get into this. A Tennessee legislator has apologized after suggesting hanging people from trees as a potential method for state executions, in comments interpreted by some as a call to state-sanctioned lynchings. On Tuesday, the State House Criminal Justice Committee was debating a bill to add the firing squad to Tennessee's existing methods of execution, lethal injection, and electrocution. Like, think about this for a minute, y'all. The state Senate is on the floor debating this.
Right.
Like, this is a real debate going on in the Tennessee State Senate. They gathered all the senators to sit around on the floor and discuss whether they should add firing squads to their current methods of execution, which is lethal injection and electrocution. And then one senator decided to chime in. This is what he said. Could I put an amendment on that would include hanging on a tree also? This was a question, a legitimate question during the state legislators' hearing. Let's see what the devil had to say.
Just wondering, but I do. And I was just wondering about, could I put an amendment on that would include hanging by a tree also?
You know, he was waiting all his life.
Can you hear that? Can people hear that? What did you say?
Yeah, they can hear it.
You got to say that again, sir.
Well, nah, he was waiting all his life to say that.
He couldn't wait. He could not wait to get up there and share that.
You saw his shoulders?
Right.
You saw his shoulders? It's like this. He went over that mic.
Right.
You gotta see, watch, Salaki, if I may, watch the video. Look at his shoulders.
Let's show it.
Let's
show it one more time.
Over there. Yeah, look at it.
Let's show it one more time for our viewers.
But I do. And I was just wondering about, could I put an amendment on that would include hanging by a tree also? And also, I would like to sign on to the bill. Thank you.
I ain't have no problem. You see how he said it? He said, I want to introduce this, and I don't mind signing the bill right now.
You know, the funny thing about this whole thing is, I don't know why our oppressors act like they're not doing it anyway.
Right.
They don't need no bill or no law or no legislation. They're gonna hang you from a bridge, a tree, a barn, a house. It don't matter. A street light. They still doing it to this day. They don't need no bill.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
But it's important for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians to realize that this is a discussion in the government. You know what I'm saying? It's not like when you think about lynchings, you think about these old black and white pictures, this back in the day, the 1920s, No, devils like this, and I want you to look at his face.
Right.
Look at his face. Disgusting devils like this are discussing this in official government hearings. He is a state senator, and he is suggesting hanging people on trees. And you want to know why he's suggesting that? Because he got old black and white pictures right in his house of his grandfathers and his great-grandfathers standing next to Blacks and Hispanics hanging on trees. And he is just like the officer brought out. He couldn't wait to suggest that.
Right.
He wants to make it legal. Listen, when his grandparents did it, it wasn't legal. It wasn't legal back then. He wants to make it legal business in the state of Tennessee to be able to do this to people.
Well, Salaki, if I may, if possible, you know what I'm saying? If possible, they just passed the anti-lynching bill.
Right.
They just passed the anti-lynching. What year did they just pass the anti-lynching bill? Do you know?
I don't remember.
You can look at you know what I'm saying? Look, bring that up. You know what I'm saying? Bring that up, because this is when Blacks, Hispanics, and so-called Native American Indians, you need to know when the anti-lynching bill just been passed. Remember, they got books. They got history books that call it, you know what I'm saying, the last, 100 years. They had the last 150 years of lynching. You know what I'm saying? They got a book that's up that call it no sanctuary. I think that's what it called.
Without sanctuary?
Yeah, without sanctuary. That's the
it's a book about lynching.
But it's a book about lynching, but it's a pictorial book, so you can see his ancestors.
Oh yeah.
His daughters, his granddaughters, his grandmother, his grandfather, so on and so forth, right there, watching a Mexican getting lynched.
Right.
While they cooking burgers. You know what I'm saying? While they mowing the lawn. You know what I'm saying? Business as usual. This is what they do. Our oppressors, these snow roaches, these shaved monkeys. You know what I'm saying?
And that anti-lynching bill was passed between 2021 and 2022.
Wait, say that. No. Say the year again.
Between 2021 and 2022.
No. Say the year again.
Between 2021 and 2022.
Wait, hold up. By 2021 and 2022.
Right.
Wait, let me say it again. By 2021 and 2022, with the anti-lynching bill.
Right.
The anti-lynching bill.
Right. Damn right.
If you think about lynching off the back, you think about a so-called black, a so-called Native American, and then a so-called Hispanic being lynched. That's what you think off the back, and you're thinking about that in the 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
In the 1800s, during slavery, this is what you think about. Is the anti-lynching bill.
Right.
2021 and 2022.
Right.
And this so-called anti Asian bill was passed in about 2 weeks?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A month?
Damn,
it took almost 100 years to say. You know what I'm saying? It took 100 years to, you know what I'm saying, for our oppressors to say, you know what? I think it's bad to lynch, you know what I'm saying, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American. I think it's bad.
Right.
It took almost 100 years for them just to admit to say, is it bad to lynch black people? They had to pose the question to their brothers and sisters, to this guy. Yo, listen up. Is it bad to lynch blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians? And that was just a question.
Right.
Sloppy.
Right. And when we get into the rest of this story here, the critics, the comments was a shocking reference. I don't know why would it be shocking. To Tennessee and to the South at large's long history of lynching violence against black people, where at least 236 lynchings in Tennessee between 1877 and 1950, according to the Equal Justice Initiative. And what the officer was just bringing out is so heavy because that anti-lynching bill was passed in 2021, 2022, but here in 2023, we have a young man who was lynched. And let's get into this story real quick. Attorneys call for FBI to investigate lynching of Rasheem Carter. And let's remember this young boy's name. Let's put his name in the Rolodex with all the other names of the brothers and sisters who tragically lost their lives due to our oppressor, the George Floyds of the world, the Philando Castiles of the world, the Eric Garners of the world. Let's remember this young man's name, Rasheem Carter, because they are investigating a lynching for this young brother right here. You see his face on the page.
Wait.
Attorneys of the family.
Oh no! I want to say this. You got to realize, if this was 2 years ago, it won't be no law against lynching.
Right.
It won't be no law against lynching. It would just be business as usual.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Against this brother right here, it won't be murdered. Yo, we didn't murder him. We lynched him. You see what I'm saying? That's our oppressor. You know what I'm saying? And what it says right here, I don't see no anti-lynching law. We didn't murder him. We just lynched him.
Right.
Go ahead, read that.
Attorneys and family members are urging the FBI to investigate the death of a black man whose skeletal remains were found after he said he was being chased by white men who were hurling racial slurs. 25-year-old Rasheem Carter was initially reported missing in October after informing his mother that he was being pursued by white men in trucks. The following month, authorities found his remains in the woods of Tylerville, Mississippi. The Smith County Sheriff's Department said in a November statement that it had no reason to believe foul play was involved in the case of Carter's death. On Monday, March 13th, Carter's family and the attorney, Ben Crump, called for a federal investigation into his death, which they believe was the result of a brutal hate crime. Crump revealed new photos of Carter's skeletal remains, saying that the 25-year-old's head was severed from his body and that his spinal cord was cut, found in a separate location from his head. This is absolutely horrific. And the local sheriffs found no foul play involved. You know, now here's a young 25-year-old black brother who is running
for his life.
Right. This is no different than the 1920s and 30s.
Listen, 18, 17,
Right.
ain't nothing different. And what's so sad about it, he calling his mom.
Right.
He calling his mama like, listen, I'm hearing from white people are trying to lynch me.
Right.
They're after me. Mother don't know what to do, man. People,
Right.
brothers and sisters don't know what to do in this situation. Listen, you better be careful on how you act. This can happen to you.
Damn
It can
right.
happen to anybody. Don't think because you in the South, it's only going to happen in the South. It happens in New York. It happens in the East Coast too. It happens all over America where brothers and sisters are getting lynched. You might not be lynched on the street, but they'll surely lynch you in that jail cell. Don't
Right.
forget, brothers and sisters died from being lynched from one of those bars in the goddamn jail. So you ain't safe nowhere. Remember Sandra Bland? Remember that, right?
Right.
Remember that? Remember where she died at? In jail. She died in jail. They don't know how she died. How she turned up. We came in. She was on the floor dead. You know,
Right.
They
If you
murdered that
remember,
sister, man.
If you remember, there was a film that came out a while ago called Mississippi Burning.
Oh yeah.
And that film documented a true story of these three kids that went to the South. They was in some initiative to help desegregate. And they were all murdered. And if you watch that film, and that happened back in the 50s, 60s, that film outlines exactly what we see here, where the local law enforcement refused to thoroughly investigate what happened. And they had to bring in the feds in order to investigate. And that's exactly what this lawyer and this family is calling for in this story right here. Because the local law enforcement, despite the fact that this man's head was severed from his body and his spinal cord was found in a different location, despite that, they refused to thoroughly investigate what happened to this man. And so now they have to bring in the federal government in order to investigate, no different than what happened in the 50s, the 60s, the 1800s, the 1700s, just like the officer said.
Listen, man, ain't nothing changed. Just like, you know, our oppressor, his spirit has been the same since the garden.
Right.
His spirit has been the same since he killed his brother Abel. You
Right.
understand? And he ain't gonna never change. The only time he gonna change is if the world's the sky cracks. You know what's hilarious? I remember yesterday when we left the school, I went to sleep. I had the TV on. I done woke up. I'm like, what the hell is all this noise? And I don't know if anyone ever seen this movie, but I only seen parts of it. It's called you might not have. It's In the End. It's by that Seth Rogen movie.
Yeah.
They play themselves in the movie and they're having like a party and the so-called rapture happens.
Yeah.
So what's so funny about the movie to me is that there's a part where one of the actors, I think his name is Jay. He was like, "Yo, maybe it's Revelations in the Bible." So they're like, "Come on, man! How is a zombie apocalypse out there?" Listen, he'll believe anything. He'll believe it's anything but the world ending.
Right.
He'll take anything. He'll take a zombie apocalypse. He'll take an asteroid hitting the earth. He'll take alien invasion, but he does not want judgment coming his way. He doesn't want Revelation to be true.
Mr. Lockett, sir, if I may, and actually, you know what I'm saying, what you're saying is a hard body one West, and you are a preaching prophet, because I was thinking about that.
Right.
That, you know what I'm saying, our oppressor don't want judgment.
Right, he
Because,
does.
you know what I'm saying, they always go way left. You know what I'm saying, they know, what is the right thing to do? Well, you know what I'm saying, the way that we treated these nations of people, we deserve judgment.
Right.
But they don't want to admit that. They never want to admit that. That's why they came up with, you know what I'm saying, the slave Bible. You know what I'm saying? That's why they came up, you know what I'm saying, our brothers and sisters is pushing the slave Bible that everybody could be, you know what I'm saying? Everybody could be saved in John 3:16 and all this filthiness. That's just to push them away, you know what I'm saying? Away to, you know what I'm saying? Away from their judgment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Away from the slave master judgment. Away from, you know what I'm saying, the white Jesus doctrine judgment. Away from, you know what I'm saying, white supremacist, white Jesus doctrine. That's the way they get down. They don't want judgment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Our oppressors do not want judgment. That's the reason why they pushing white Jesus doctrine.
Right. Listen, absolutely. And what's so heavy about this is, if you don't know, he knows he's in the wrong. There's certain books. I'm gonna make it my business to try to at least make it into a PDF and find it.
We just brought it up.
No. There's a book. I forget the name, but y'all all knows. But he's in the meeting right now. But there's a book that they know exactly what they've done. They know what they did during slavery, and they know that is wrong. It's to the point they say, like, listen, we've done so wrong that we rather just take the judgment when it comes. But the problem is they don't want the judgment when it comes. They do everything in their power to make sure judgment don't come. Listen, I think if I could real quick,
God bless America. They say that. God bless America. Even though America is saturated with blood.
Listen, this is how much our oppressor doesn't want judgment. He does it. I think it's Jeremiah. Give me Jeremiah 30 and 30. I believe that's what it is, right? It might be that. If anyone knows what the scripture where it's talking about if the earth or the sun pass.
And if I may, you know what I'm saying?
No, I know. I just realized. I believe it's in Jeremiah though. Let me see if I can find it.
Con. But if, you know what I'm saying, if I can elaborate on this, our oppressor is the snow roach. You know what I'm saying? Is the devil what the Bible speaks of. Because this is what they do. You know what I'm saying? You got brothers and sisters that's, you know what I'm saying, that's really going to the slave doctrine. The slave doctrine, because they don't want judgment. Our oppressors do not want judgment. Based on the history of this country, we know the history of this country is saturated. It's drenched with other nations' blood. It's drenched with other nation blood. But they don't want judgment. You know what I'm saying? You look toward these Christian these churches, these Catholic churches, they would say, God bless America. They would say that. You know what I'm saying? I did a story about, you know what I'm saying, about the so-called the Native American Indians that's from Canada. And when the Pope came into Canada, when he so-called apologized, he's supposed to be on his goddamn knees. He's supposed to be on his goddamn knees. But our brothers and sisters would stroke his hair. Right. You know what I'm saying? Would stroke his hair. And he know that he murdered and molested nothing but blacks, Hispanics, and the American Indians. He know it. He know it. He read the documentary. You know what I'm saying? He read the books. Right. They got, you know what I'm saying? The best thing that the European did is make good records. They make damn good records of their, you know what I'm saying, of their atrocities, of their, you know what I'm saying, of their victims. That's what they did. You know what I'm saying? They make damn good records. But then again, they don't want judgment. They don't want judgment. They want to believe in their white Jesus, you know what I'm saying, in their white God. And because of their white God, they, you know what I'm saying, there's no such thing of judgment. That's the reason why everybody could be saved. Everybody could be saved from the, you know what I'm saying, from the judgment, so on and so forth. Salaki, you know what I'm saying?
Sign Christ, get that a hand, man.
I can't find the scripture right now, but there's a scripture that talks about if the earth, the moon or the sun, one of the two pass, that Israel won't be no more. But the point of me trying to show you that scripture is, what do? They do all types of scientific researches on the sun and this, and it's going to die in a million years. It's going to do this, it's do this. It's because they know They don't want judgment day to come. They don't want judgment day to come. They want to rule and oppress you forever.
Huh? Is it 2 Peter's 30 and 10?
I don't think it's in the Old Testament.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in the New Testament. It's in the Old Testament. But regardless of the case, right? But if I can get this real quick, let me get 1 Peter 5 and 8. Let me get that. 1 Peter 5 and 8. Because all the stuff we done heard today, man, we gotta start coming together. We gotta do certain things. So when you get it hard, read what you got.
This is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Be sober.
Be what?
Be sober. And vigilant.
Mm-hmm.
Because your adversary, the devil.
The what?
Your adversary, the devil.
Right, we gotta be sober, be vigilant. It says because your adversary, the devil, listen, the scriptures calls him the devil.
Right.
Your adversary, somebody that is against you, somebody that wants to do evil towards you, somebody that wants to oppress you. That's what your adversary is, man. It says be sober, be vigilant. That's what we need to do during these times, man. Just remember what the war report was saying when y'all are bringing it out. Listen, we about to be in hell. You think you got money now? You ain't gonna have no money in the future. You trying to sell Jordans and this and that and put it in your bank account? You ain't gonna have a bank account in the next future. We out there being high off drugs and alcohol and weed or whatever it is that's making you not sober. We need to stop that, man. We need to come together as brothers and sisters. Because the scripture says to be sober, be vigilant, keep going.
Because your adversary, the devil,
right,
as a roaring lion.
As a what?
A roaring lion.
Keep going.
Walketh about.
Yeah, he walketh about like a roaring lion, man. That's what he's doing. He walks the goddamn planet as a roaring lion. Who's gonna stop me? Looking for his next victim to devour. Because why? That's what he does. That's why he pumps all these things in our community. He don't want you to be sober. He doesn't want you to be vigilant. Damn man, he don't even want you to know that he's your adversary, the devil.
Right.
And that's why we have to take this scripture and apply it. Because you have to be sober. Especially in these times. If you ain't sober, I don't know what you're doing out there. You out there just letting the sun go up and down without nothing going on. Just not learning nothing. You just think, look, what? Went to work, came home, and that's it. Go to work, come home, and that's it. Talking about what's going on in social media. Oh, Ciara was ass naked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know about that, but you don't know your adversary, the devil, is walking around waiting to devour you. Keep going, hard.
Seeketh whom he may devour. Verse 9. Whom resist steadfast in the faith.
Right.
Knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
Listen, and this is how we're going to get the job done, man. We as brothers and sisters need to come together in this wicked society.
Right.
Right.
That's why it's telling you to be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, don't forget that word. I don't have to use white man. I don't have to use the oppressor. I can use your adversary. Your adversary, it's not just the so-called European. Your oppressor. There's many people who are your adversary. Listen, a police officer is your adversary, man.
Right.
Your manager is your adversary. The fact that you have to put money in the bank and then go to the teller to make sure to get your money out, that's your adversary, man.
Right.
Somebody that's not for you, listen, he's a devil, like the scripture says, man.
Damn right.
He's your devil. And just because of that, you better be sober. You better be vigilant, because if you're not, listen, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you, because our credit scores ain't good. Our credit scores ain't good.
What
credit score? Right. Your mama destroyed your credit score when you was 1 year old.
Right.
She got cable when it first came out.
Right.
She ordered HBO and every Eddie Murphy's Raw. You know what I'm saying? And your credit score went down the drain. We have none.
Damn right.
We barely have money in the bank accounts. So if that's the case, why can't we just come together? We spend billions of dollars over on Black Friday, Christmas, Thanksgiving.
That's right.
So I think for once, as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we could come together and defeat our adversary, the devil. But that's what I wanted to say.
Damn right, give him a head.
There's more in the article. There's more in the article right there.
No, the article's done, Pete.
Oh, the article is done, but because I also wanted to bring out the scripture what you were saying, because he was, you know what I'm saying. You gotta realize he wasn't talking about his people. He was talking about blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians,
right,
who are the chosen people of God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And what you were saying, so hard body one West, and he was, you know what I'm saying, the other one was talking about for us to separate from him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Not physically, because we in this oppression, but you know what I'm saying, spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Spiritually.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't have to celebrate his holidays. We don't have to do exactly the things he's doing. We do the stuff with that the Most High God tell us what to do. Tell us what to do. And it says, you know what I'm saying, our brother, you know what I'm saying, Paul, our brother Paul from the, you know what I'm saying, from the tribe of Benjamin,
right,
was telling us this. He was telling us this. If you could read that right now, you know what I'm saying, Romans chapter 12, verse 10.
Romans chapter 12, verse 10.
This is my bedrock scripture from, you know what I'm saying, from the brotherhood class, because this is what the I1 was talking. This is what the Most High was talking. This is what our brother Paul was talking to our brothers and sisters. Read that.
Be kindly, affectionate, one to another.
Say that again.
Be kindly, affectionate, one to another.
Oh, that's blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. We're supposed to be kindly and affectionate to one to another. Do we know how to do that? Mm-hmm. Do we know how to do that? You know what I'm saying? We got our oppressors saying, yo, I need to bring back lynching.
Right.
I need to lynch, you know what I'm saying? I need to lynch these people who don't look like me.
Right.
I need to lynch these people who don't have the same bloodline as me. I need to lynch these people.
That's right.
And the Most High, you know what I'm saying? And our brother Paul said, what?
Be kindly, affectionate, one to another.
Oh, we got to be kindly affectionate to one and to another. We took on a trace for our oppressor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We disrespecting, you know what I'm saying, we disrespecting one another. But we, you know what I'm saying, we all deserve to be kindly and affectionate to one another. How will we learn that? You know what I'm saying? We need a safe place. And the safe place is ISUPK. Right?
That's right.
With brotherly love.
With what?
With brotherly love.
Do blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, you know what I'm saying, do we know anything about brotherly love? Do we know about that? You know what I'm saying? My brother, you know what I'm saying? My brother, you know, I'm from blood brother, and my brother down the block, we were selling drugs to the other brother down the block.
That's right.
We selling drugs to his pregnant woman, to his pregnant mother. Do we really know how to be, you know what I'm saying, really know how to show brotherly love? Brotherly love. Do we really know how to show that? Hell no. You know why? Because we took on the traits of our oppressor. We took on the traits of this man to say we need to bring back religion.
And what's so heavy about the scripture, if I could, right? It says, read it from the top, Ariella, the scripture.
Romans 12, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Be kindly, affectionate.
What?
Affectionate.
What?
Affectionate.
Look that word up. Y'all look that word up and read what the definition is, because we hear it.
That's right.
You hear be kind and affectionate, but what does it really mean to be affectionate? That's where the problem stands. Read anyone. It don't just have to be Yashma. Whoever gets it, just read it real quick, because we have to end the show.
Affectionate.
Right?
Readily feeling and showing fondness or tenderness.
Mm-hmm.
Loving, fond, adoring, devoted, caring, doting, tender, warm-hearted, big-hearted, soft-hearted, soft, unselfish, kind-hearted, sir.
There you go, man. That's what you have to realize what affectionate is, man. We need to apply all that brother just read. That's what we gotta apply to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Damn right.
You just hear kind and affectionate. Listen, we don't, half the time we are not even taught properly. So you kind and affectionate, you don't really know what kind and affectionate is. Why? Because your mother gave you kind and affectionate, and you think is, get in this house.
Right.
I'm sorry. She don't even say sorry. Your dinner ready. your food ready, especially if you're Benjamin. I know my Jamaicans, my West Indians know how that get down. Your mother would never say sorry. To this day, my mom ain't never say sorry to me. She'll say sorry on her deathbed and probably not even mean it. You know what I'm saying? But listen, you have to know what kindness and affection is.
But if I may, sir, you know where we're going to see kindness and affection at? At the Lord's 54th Passover in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Damn right, man. You're going to see all types of brothers and sisters in one room, and ain't going to be no cracking a bottle, trying to stab nobody, no gunshots, no nothing.
Damn right. Damn right. Big shout out to the Lord's 54th annual Passover in Raleigh, North Carolina, hosted by Commander General Yohana. It's going down April 1st. The all-black party, the slaughter of the lamb, the feast of unleavened bread. Big shout out to all the sponsors of the all-black party. Carl Gas, give that a hand.
But wait, let me just say this. It was an order from priest and Commander General Yohana for all Israelite groups to report to the Passover.
That's right.
Report to the Passover. It's only one body.
Right.
It's only one body, one baptism. That's it. There's no multiple camps. It's only one camp. And you know what I'm saying? The only camp is Shubi camp. Report to the Passover. It had been reported. It had been ordered. You know what I'm saying? That's kindly and affectionate to one another.
Right. So the sign of Christ. Big shout out to Addictive Chaos, also Yawala. I saw that ring we had on, man. Yo, go to addictivechaos.com. Check that out. Big shout out to Officer Itazab, UPKFL way. Give that a hand. And all the sponsors of the All Black Party is going down in Raleigh, North Carolina, April 1st. Yo, we're going to get up out of here, man. We over the time. Of course, let it be known, episode 60. Give that a hand. Yeah. The man of the hour, the prince of the power, President Officer Shalaya Allah in the building, of course. That's right. Give him a hand. All the way from Long Island, New York, we got President Officer Karab in the building. Them shades is fire, sir. Give him a hand.
Y'all don't know. Listen, look on the shades. Y'all don't see it. You don't see it on the shades. They got to get close.
That's a privilege to be here to see what's on the shades. The point I'm saying, listen, they don't see Passover, man. Right. We see these shade lifts at the Passover.
Right. Yo, big shout out to Precinct Officer Yahweh Allah. That war report was fire, man. There's some war going on outside, man. You might have no more money in your bank account. Stay tuned for that war report. The War Report podcast. Give that a hand.
That's right.
We got Precinct Officer Yahshua Salakia. We got Officer Salakia. All the way from Yonkers, New York.
I thought I was raised up.
Give him a hand. Of course, we got Precinct Officer Yahshua Yal in the building from Long Island, New York. Give him a hand.
That's right.
I am, of course, in the mountain of the Most High Precinct Officer Harya Allah in the building. We got Trooper Ben Yal in the building. Young man Jay. Yo, we gonna get up out of here, man. Big shout out to the chat. Thank you for your support. We'll be here next Sunday. Shalom, Israel.
That's right.
Damn right.
Big soldier, nigga. Just give me a reason. Fuck peace, getting even. One beat with fear. Taking over, nigga. Let me make it clear. They want the cloud, we want the zone. That's the way it is. I'm about to start a fire. Whole team full of riders. They be dead on the ride, boy. Ain't gon' be no survivors. Big soldier, nigga. Come on. Don't care where it is. They want the cloud, we want the zone. That's the way it is. I'm wrapped out, tell them watch your mouth. You know we gon' bend your block. I'ma walk in time bomb. I go viral. You niggas like TikTok, yeah. This ain't what you want. Tell them throw in the towel. We make niggas hit the clock. And what I told fire rain brimstone. They gon' think that you live a lie. We ain't got no picks. We want it all. We gon' make you pick a spot. We knocking on the door, so let us in. Or you know we gon' pick the locks. We in the field for real. Every day while y'all just say watch. We making enemies. Our foot stores run no nothing by the op. It take one try when I rock out. I'm like David when I sling shots. I'm putting attachments on everything. Y'all want me connect the dot. This drum got 50 unreleased hits. You don't want to be the next to drop. I put them in a box and make that shit double wood. You don't want to be the next to flop. Yeah. Niggas feeling themselves. Get a shovel, tell them dig the plot. Can't fit you, but your man's in it. Just tell him get a bigger box. Cause I put you in one and knock you out one. Call up my nigga Nyc. I'll put your song on, cut it on mute, and then tell you that shit was hot. Big soldier, nigga. Just give me a reason. Fuck peace, getting even. Won't beef with fear. Take it over, nigga. Let me make it clear. They want the cloud, we want the zone. That's the way it is. I'm about to start a fire. Whole team full of riders. They be dead on the ride, boy. Ain't gon' be no survivors. Big soldier, nigga. Come on. Don't care where it is. They want the cloud, we want the zone. That's the way it is. Big soldier, nigga. I come in the name of the boss. So my niggas that is wartime, already wait the coast. That point shoot bitch. Red Dead Redemption. Got them niggas scared to whisper. Is you with us or against us? Can't stop to the zone loud. I don't think you get the picture. It come from my head, I'm giving them lead. The preacher give them a scripture. Flow cold style vicious. Niggas sweeter than the missus. Got soldiers posted. I'll put them on your roof. Merry Christmas. Bring hither and slay him. Got the Glock out the book of Luke. Keep it stick like Dumbledore. Play dumb, I'ma let it loose. Call my gun harmony. Call my main bitch Betty Boop. He the truth, I'ma need the proof. Got stripes like Beetlejuice. Hit his ass like a Louisville. Hit him low, then I hit him high. Bring him home to the umpire. Give him bars like Wi-Fi. Turn the booth to a bonfire. Little bitch, I'm a live wire. I ride like a car tire. It's on mine when I ride by. Big soldier, nigga. Just give me a reason. Fuck peace, getting even. Won't beef with fear. Taking over, nigga. Let me make it clear. They want the cloud, we want the zone. That's the way it is. I'm about to start a fire. Whole team full of riders. They be dead on the ride, boy. Ain't gon' be no survivors. Big soldier, nigga. Come on. Don't care where it is. They want the cloud, we want the zone. That's the way it is.
I heard they coming for blood, I'ma be coming for more. Give me the floor, they better come with a mop. I'ma be making it pour. Nigga, I'm raw, fly with a hammer like Thor. Found on my ops in the morgue, tell them I'm four. I'ma be bombing these lanes, understand how and war. I've been the lead, time to get back in the street, time to get back on my feet. Had time to read, check out we came from the east. Wait till my dogs are released, heard they was sleep. So we gon' wake them up, put them up in the sky, the Lord gon' take them up. I take on anybody, think he brave enough. I've been the same and I ain't never changing up. I'm in my zone, hit up my cellular phone, tell me whatever he on. I check that scouter, he on them perks and that powder. Homie ain't really that strong, I'm like the dawn. Better yet, Benny King, I keep a lion head on my pinky ring. I keep a shield. Boy, you see everything. G43, Symphony, let it sing.
You ain't too, you crazy.
Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rebel, busy man, shit.
I am the owner and creator of Penrose Apothecary. I create niche perfumery and luxury hand-poured candles. I technically started Penrose at the end of 2019. I launched January 1st of this year. I started because service is my love language, and I feel providing a luxury product that I make from my heart is my best offering of love that I can give. Penrose is the name of the street I grew up on in St. Louis, Missouri. I can't even think of the name Penrose without smiling and thinking of all the joy and laughter and good memories, nothing but good memories there. And so when I came up with the name for Penrose Apothecary, I took Penrose, meaning home for me, and then apothecary is where you go to receive healing. And I put them together, so I'm bringing a sense of home and healing to anyone who patrons Penrose Apothecary. I hope to have small storefronts throughout America. I never want to be like a big factory or wholesale. I always want to keep it intimate and niche, something that is very personal. So I definitely want to grow. I want to grow my way, and I want to grow from the heart. I chose scent for a reason. Scent is the strongest recaller of memory psychologically. You can smell something once and you smell it again 10, 20 years later, it'll take you right back to when you first smelled it and whatever happened. Like you will instantly start to recall like vividly what happened just from smelling something. And I think that for me, the olfactory sense is the most intimate. So I chose scent because I want this to be something people carry with them forever. I liken myself as being a scent house, a perfume house. I offer luxury hand-poured candles. room sprays, perfumes, body oils, and perfume oils. I will be branching off into incense as well as body butters and shower gels as soon, but the whole purpose is to bring fragrance and the smell goods to all forms of your body and house. My name is Kyra Lumpkin. I am the owner and creator of Penrose Apothecary. If you would like to keep up with my arts and crafts, please follow me on Instagram at Penrose Apothecary. I also have a website, penroseapothecary.com. I am always doing pop-ups. I do in-store vending at West Elm every now and then. I'm always doing something to grow this brand and bring it to your living rooms. So if you want to keep up with me, please follow me on Instagram. I really hope you find a home in Penrose.